Yes, good people. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Blue Morning show, specifically another Transfer Watch show. More importantly, I hope you're all doing well. Quite a lot to talk about. I have planned a few, but a lot popped up this morning, but we're going to get it anyway. We'll do the best we can to make sure we address all the items we have lined up this morning. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show without wasting much of the time. Let's do it, people. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream if you're just joining us. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. More importantly, the likes do go a long way for the community. And also, please, if you have time, do share the stream on whatever social media platform where you have presence. It will help us reach a lot more people. And for those of you that are watching, for one reason or the other, do not have the time to join the show, we appreciate you. But if you could do us one more favor, just dropping a like on the stream, that will go a long way. Today we'll talk about Ngolo Kante, and then we'll talk about Mason Mount, Romeo Lavia, Kai Havertz, Moises Caicedo. I think I'm missing a few other names. Ian Matson, also Marco Correa, Edouard Mendy, and of course the elephant in the room. I'm sure there's no way we get done with the show with somebody not bringing up Romelu Lukaku. But that's, by the way, I have to say hello to those in the chat already. That's how we operate here. So keep dropping the likes on the stream. Who's the first person? Wow. Brianni Yahayu, a.k.a. 343, Dynamo, a.k.a. Viver FC, and a.k.a. Contender FC. You forfeited one. You wanted to change one more time. London is blue. Always nice to see you. Brianna, by the way, I hope you're doing well. Big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the show. Hello, Constantin Dantu. Big up to you, brother. Thank you for joining and saying hello. And my bro, Mikael. Nice. Good morning, Blue Morning, coach. I smashed the like button, but I must say I am not taking the news. I'm going to go start the counter to end of transfer window now. Better do that, but much love to you, brother. We're all concerned, and I know how pained you are given the situation we found ourselves, but I think we will overcome. Again, we're all frustrated, and sometimes it can drive us to the edge, but I know, how pained you are because of how much you love the club. Chip Chida, Constantin Dante, thank you so much for always saying that. Much love to you, brother. Always nice to see you in the chat there. I appreciate all the support, and thank you for becoming a member too. And soon I'm recruiting people to make it easier on me. Soon we'll start having more and more members show. So I promise you that. Coach, you don't want it to get too popular to be. Nobody wants that. It could cause a problem. And like I said, honestly, I should be done with my doctoral program right now, but YouTube happened. But here's the thing. I think I will make amends. I will get it done in no time, probably this year. but I have to plan myself well. But that's, by the way, we'll move on from that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all for finding the time to join the show. But make sure you keep dropping the likes on the stream. The target is 300 today, and we have about just 2 hours and 6 minutes to round off. It's not going to be a 3-hour show today. And yeah, a lot has changed on my end, so I have to manage my time properly. AS Monaco are interested in Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard Mendy. So reported by who is it? Nice Martin via GFF, and I don't know that source, but that's fine. Here's the thing: I wanted Mendy to move on. Maybe that's what he really needs. That's what he really needs. You could say to start showing the sort of form that he showed when he joined us, when he newly joined us. He's a good goalkeeper. He's well equipped. I've always said this. He's well equipped to do even better than Kai Havertz because he has he's taller, and on his day he commands his area quite well. I get it, and I'd say this again. Most people don't give him credit given how good he's actually good with his feet. Maybe he needs that fresh start. Like it doesn't seem as if it doesn't seem like again he'd be able. You could say to rekindle the sort of form he showed when he joined us, unfortunately. And I'm sure that he got, again, after Frank Lampard, he got one chance under Frank Lampard, and he got dropped to the bench again. I think you can argue it because Frank, since he can't just trust him. Something isn't quite right with him. Maybe he needs to do some self-assessment to figure out what's going on with him. I still strongly think he's a good goalkeeper. But we move on from that immediately. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way, people. I appreciate you all for joining the show. What else do we have here? Not sure how much Mendy wants. What's wrong? Because he's fine. He's a fine goalkeeper, actually. And like I said, he's actually equipped to do better than Kai Havertz. But I was at one point, he was averaging a single mistake per game. And Thomas Tuchel didn't help matters. That's how I like to put it. Because had he dropped him, he would have taken the time off, look himself in the mirror and figure out what's going wrong, and maybe find a solution. But Thomas Tuchel didn't do that. He only Kepa only got the chance to start between the sticks when Mendy got injured. But it's still at the World Cup. At World Cup also, we did see a couple of, you could say, high-profile mistakes. And when he returned, I just maybe all he needs is he needs a fresh start. Maybe that's what he needs to rekindle that form, because he's a good goalkeeper overall. And I'm not sure. Somebody argued on the panel here a month ago, and I think that's the case. I think maybe Mendy lost that hunger that he had in him when he joined us. Maybe he's lost it. Maybe he became too comfortable. Maybe that was the case. I just do not know, because he was excellent for us. I'm not sure what to make of this situation, and I get it. If it feels like the offer that the club had on the table for him isn't good enough, maybe he has to leave. And I don't think Mendy will also accept playing second. Becoming the second choice goalkeeper for any goalkeeper in the world. I think he'd move on. And given that he's a goalkeeper, you can say he's still young. Goalkeepers age like fine wine. And I agree. Maybe he lost that hunger. And the club has to move on from him. And he has to move on if they're not offering him something that he believes he's worth. Maybe he feels like he should be on par with Kai Havertz's wages. But we don't know what they discuss. We don't know what the problem is. But if you ask me, I'd say he should move on. Maybe because a fresh start is what he needs, to get back on track. Have you seen Arsenal's new kit? They pay homage to the Invisibles. So now they're saying 22-23 or 23-24 got to be invisible. Delusional level of the charts. Delusion of the charts, I must say. I think here's the thing. Come next season, I don't think they do as well as they did in the past season. Because here's the thing, what happened in the past season is this. Lots of the top performing teams were, you could say, are all in transition period. So that helped them quite a lot. Had Chelsea been up there, the rest assured they won't get anything close to top four. Had Liverpool been up there too, they won't be anything close to top four. But I'm just hoping it would be strategic in the market and be prepared, because I still believe if we spend wisely, sign players that will help us sort out the problems we have, we're actually capable of doing better than a lot of people believe we're doing in the coming season. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. What do we have here? Banter must continue for this Elephant Club. Yep, that's what it is. We cannot, because we're in 12th place, not banter Arsenal. We have to. They had a chance. They're led by millions of points and ended up bottling it. So that in its own, it's unforgivable. It's also his contract situation. That's important. That's why I'm saying maybe they're offering him something, that he feels it's not worth it. He has to move on. He's a good goalkeeper, and I've always keep saying this is actually equipped to do better than Kepa Arrizabalaga, because he's taller and there are other aspects of his game. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I think maybe he really does need a fresh start to rekindle his, get his career back on track. Mendy hasn't lost his hunger. He lost his only friend, a mentor in the club, Petr Cech. When Cech left the club, you're thinking that's when his problems started? Maybe that may well be the case. But I like him, but I wouldn't like him to become the second goalkeeper. I think it's bigger than that. He needs to move on. Big up to you too, Chelsea, all the way. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Smash and subscribe, people. Keep smashing the like button. We are still at 17 likes. We should be doing better than that. Get the likes up. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes a day. We need to be at least 150 now. Man, I wish we'll bring back that FA Cup anniversary Chelsea FC shirt, just blue, yellow. I think classic. I think it was beautiful, really. Highlights and blacked out sponsor. I missed out on getting one. I didn't get one myself, but I like it. I have a few, but there are a few also. When I look back, I regret I didn't get them. Arsenal in the mode they're dreaming. I think it's a way just to, you can say, maybe the classic jersey, or you can say the invisible thing is just to keep the players motivated. Maybe they're capable of doing the same come next season. Let's see what happens. Chelsea are interested in former midfielder Paulinho, according to Simon Phillips. I think he will be a good signing, even better for us because he has Premier League experience, and a lot of Chelsea fans like him. And I think he's a good player, but I haven't paid attention to him to say maybe he'd really be a better option than Ugarte for us. But we'll see. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to type in my opinion at the end of the sentence. Disclaimer right there. We need that. That's how we operate. You have to say, okay, in your opinion. Yeah, but that's, by the way, we'll move on from that. What else do we have here? The next item we have, this says, Pulisic admits uncertainty over future according to 90 minutes. But he ended that with something to the effect of, we'll see what happens, that he's still a Chelsea player. But I think the club will look to move him on as long as he hasn't signed a new contract. It's a risk to let him stay on and stay beyond the transfer window. It becomes a problem. Let's move on from that. Next item we have lined up here. Let's move to it. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Sincerely, do appreciate that. Let's see. Chelsea, all the way, it says, set 75 million price tag for Havertz. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll have it lined up there. Let's get to it. Let's take the items one by one. This is what we have next here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Sorry, this very show was scheduled very late, so probably a lot of people won't get notifications about it. Exclusive. Yep, crazy. Talk about crazy money. It's exclusive Saudi emissaries, is that how you pronounce that, in London to present an official proposal to Ngolo Kante. Salary bid could reach 100 million, inclusive of the image rights and commercial deals. All it's an Al Ittihad and Al Nassr on it. Kante always gave priority to new deal at Chelsea. It was closed in March, and they've decided to put that on standby. I just do not understand. I think we're losing the spine of the team. I don't know. We have footballing people at the club right now, Vivera, Winstanley, and the others. But rumors are that Winstanley decided to put the Kante talks on hold because he's thinking that he's injury prone. But here's the thing. I think we did Kante dirty. What's the reason why he became injury prone? That is, if you believe he is. He was so important. He's been so important to us and the French national team, not just us, but Deschamps also. Whenever he gets injured, the slightest he recovers, we'll pull him back into the fold. We didn't help because he's been that important to us. And now all of a sudden, we want to dump him and move on. Probably because the new owners, they don't know our history that much to recognize how important Kante has been for us. And the fact that we're the ones that has caused him to be injury prone, if you believe his that. I'm really concerned if he leaves, then we've really lost the entire spine of the team. Lack of experience, lack of any measure of, you can say, continuity there. I think that can be problematic, and we could be worse off next season if we don't bring in the right reinforcements, if that makes sense. Who rotates with Nkunku if Mount and Havertz leaves? Chukwuemeka, maybe he looks like he's capable of playing in that position. I think that's a good player in that case, but I still do need to see him more. Maybe Connie Chukwuemeka. I think he's the most likely. But let's see what the club does. Chances are we'll still sign a player, and you can say that's capable of fulfilling the 10 role. But let's see what happens. Good question right there. But Kai Havertz may well still stay because according to Fabrizio Romano, even though Real Madrid, they've spoken with, they've started establish a contact with Kai Havertz camp. They haven't, they haven't had again spoken with the club. But let's see what happens in a few days. We'll find out. Kante will leave Chelsea. Respect to him, what a legend. I don't think he'd see such money and decide to stay at Chelsea, and we cannot match that. It's a bit too late. We had the opportunity to get it done. We could have had him for one more year at least. And Kante's sort of player should have been our priority to get him to put pen to paper for a new contract, even if it is for one or more season. Especially now that we're struggling, we need a player like him. But unfortunately, we've decided otherwise. Because I'm going to say this, as long as he's seen, look at 100 million, that's like together something he's earned in 10 years or so. But it comes in bulk. Even if they're paying it bit by bit, it's still quite a lot. I think it'd be difficult to get him, to say, okay, you know what, I'm staying one more year before I come to you. Maybe we should try to do that, but I don't think it happens. I think he's going to leave. If you're in the chat, I want to get your thoughts with regards to Kante's future. What do you think will happen? I think he will most definitely leave. In my opinion, we've left it too late. He actually wanted to stay. And now they've shown him the money, and he will end up leaving. It's an unfortunate situation. If you're in the chat, let me know what you think Kante does. I think he's going to leave. And please keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We are at 19 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. Let's get the likes up and get it to 300 as soon as possible. Santiago Muno, always nice to see you. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what else do we have here. Okay, just saying hello to Santiago. I changed my picture to that shirt, Coach. I really liked it, honestly. It's classic, very clean, not too much. I like solid designs. But if you're going to do anything, let it be mild. Let it not be too much. So we'll move on. If you have anything to say with regards to the Kante situation, you go ahead, drop it in the chat, and I'll get it. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. the man of the moment, you could say at the moment, one of the most talked about Chelsea players is Kai Havertz. And this report here is saying, Chelsea want Kai Havertz to sign a new contract that will significantly extend his stay in London. Otherwise, they will look to do business with potential suitors. Adrian Kajumba is the one reporting that. And his thing, that sounds like we're trying to play the sort of game that Atletico Madrid play, get him to put pen to paper for a new contract, otherwise move him on. I think it's a smart thing to do. That's how to find out whether he wants to leave or he wants to stay. So if he wants to stay, he's going to put pen to paper for a new contract. And then if he wants to leave, he's going to say no. Then maybe that's when we'll start talking to Real Madrid. But let's see. Somebody's taking up back to the Kante talk. Let's see what he has to do there. He has to say there, Chelsea all the way. Kante should take the money and run, leaving the shambles behind him. If he doesn't take it, I still respect him for his, you could say, for his principles as a human being. But I ask question, what sort of principle is that? I take it. Even if my brother owns the club, I take the money. Honestly, it's business for all parties involved. But I still think it's going to take it because the truth remains before the Saudi entourage or the Saudi emissaries travel all the way from their place to the UK to speak with them. He's agreed to talk to them. So which means he's moving on. And that's unfortunate for me because I like him, but I'm not going to be selfish. Let him take the money. It's all business for all parties involved. I don't think he'd waste time, actually. Havertz has reached an agreement with Real Madrid for 60 million, according to Sports One. And that is him reaching an agreement with the club. But I don't think this Real Madrid have held talks with Chelsea Football Club. We haven't spoken with them. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. If that has happened, maybe I missed it. 60 million euros, you said there. It's a tough one with Havertz. I know a lot of people want him gone, but he is a classy player that just needs to play right. This does need to be used correctly, maybe. But I'm not here to make excuses for him. If he ends up leaving, fine. If he ends up staying, fine. I'd be interested to see what Mauricio Pochettino is able to do with him. That is if he stays. But the rumors suggest he may well leave. So this is interesting that the club more you could say that's an ultimatum actually. You put pen to paper for a new contract. Oh yeah, we may well let you go. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I don't know. I'm a bit greedy. We're looking for 300 likes. Do I look we're able to do that? I don't know. We're stuck at 20 right now. But please keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. It's a tough one indeed. I like him as a player. Do I think he's been doing well for us? No, but he's still our top scorer, actually, and our best player in other departments too. But he's not, again, he's the best of the worst. We move on if the club decides to sell him. What is Kai's position, please? A lot of people say, I think from what my observations, I think he'd be better off deployed behind the strikers and not as a striker himself. Even as a second striker, hasn't really worked. And if you pay attention to him, whenever he drops deep to participate in the play, the way he carries the ball, the way he progresses the ball, and you see he's actually a better player when playing from a deeper position. And Kai, actually, I know a lot of people haven't seen that at Chelsea. He's actually a good passer of the ball, but unfortunately, he's played in positions that hasn't allowed him to express himself properly as a good passer of the ball. But I really want to move on from that. I'm not here to make excuses for him. We're here to talk about the fact that he may well leave Chelsea. And the first report we read talks about Ngolo Kante. Looking up that one, I think we have more Kai Havertz stuff lined up there. The club the club decides to sell. I think they're looking for big money, 70 to 85 million pounds, if they ever decide to sell him. But they haven't had contact with Real Madrid. Same with Kante. Kante would be sad to see him go. He would be great in DM role for Poch. But would not blame him leaving. He earns it. Yeah, he earned it. Plus, we left it too late. We could have by now had him on a new contract. Even if the Saudis want him, then we'll get a sizable fee from selling him to them. But right now, I think we'll get nothing. I think he leaves as a free agent. Correct me if I'm wrong. He is a second striker or as an attacking midfielder. Yeah, either both. But even I prefer him playing as a second as an attacking midfielder rather than a second striker. Havertz is a number 10. That's how I see him, but not for the Premier League. He's a good number 10 in a different league like La Liga. I think this is just your opinion. In my opinion, I think he's capable of doing that even in the Premier League. But do I think we've used him correctly? No. Do I think he's been in the best of form since he joined us? No, he has never been consistent. It's as simple as that. But I really want to move on from that. And I'm not here to make excuses for him. I'm not his lawyer. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. It makes sense for Madrid then. I heard they will be going for 4-2-3-1 structure if Kai joins them. Maybe whatever they want to do, whatever that works for them. Chelsea won the £72 million for Havertz and are nearing an agreement with Real Madrid, according to Sports Bild. They've been saying that a few days, even 3 days ago. And after reading their report, Fabrizio Romano did release a statement saying that's not the truth. That they're talking with Kai Havertz camp, but not with Chelsea Football Club. And my argument then was that they probably haven't spoken with Chelsea because Chelsea were busy trying to get the deal of Manuel Ugarte over the line and didn't have time. Maybe that's just that's my theory of why that hasn't been the case. Havertz wouldn't start at Madrid. At least that's what you think. You don't know that. Do you think we get Caicedo? Possibly. And also, I'm not sure. At this point, I could say it's safe to say 50-50. Why do I say 50-50? Caicedo wants to play Champions League football. Arsenal has that, and Arsenal wants him. And I'm sure there are also other clubs that may be interested in signing Moises Caicedo. And plus, you can say he'd be looking to win something the moment he moves from Brighton. But maybe because of the Chelsea connection, Winstanley and all that, maybe it'd be easy to get him. But I just don't know. But I think if presented with offers to play with Arsenal, to play for Arsenal and us, he'd most likely go for Arsenal. And Arsenal, they pay better than we do. And I'm quite sure we'll probably be trying to, to get him to sign for us on a salary that's they're probably not going to be anything close to what he start earning if he joins Arsenal. That's one of the biggest issues I have with the new owners. Maybe they structured it in a way that because it is incentivized, then players still say, okay, maybe if I do well, I still earn something as big as I'd be earning at other clubs. So if I really like Chelsea, maybe I might as well just join them. But I'd say it's 50-50 right now. I'm not going to be too certain about anything happening until it happens. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 29 likes. Let's get it to 100. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. So from South Sudan, nice to see you. Yoastino 94. Always nice to see you, my friend. I was going to interview, I think, a TikTok influencer. What's her name again? From South Sudan, who's a Chelsea fan. But I think I had all the priorities then. They happened. Havertz a central attacking midfielder doesn't suit the Premier League. He needs to be creative and physical to be a central attacking midfielder in the Premier League. He will do well at CAM in the Farmers League. Here's the thing, Mabasa 05, I'm still going to say this. I don't think we know how good he is, at passing the ball. But because we've played him in places where he doesn't have the independence to create chances and all that, but instead being the one to actually expect it to finish, and he's done more in helping us keep the ball than actually creating chances. But that's by the way. If Havertz isn't a striker, where will he play at Madrid? With a 4-3-3. Tired of this excuse. Here's the thing, like I said, please, let's not get into that. I'm not here to make excuses for him. You see, we're here to talk about whether he leaves or stays. And if you want him to stay, you go ahead, talk about it. That's fine. I am going to have some dinner Beatback letter. Coach, 300 likes. Let's go for it, people. 29 likes. We should be 100 right now if we're really going to get to 300 likes. Chelsea should stop overspending, which is why we didn't get Orate. We cannot get. We can get a cheaper alternative DM. Here's the thing. My argument is this: we're known to pay premium, and again, it's something that you can expect clubs, selling clubs, that whenever they see us, they up the prices of the players they want to sell because we're Chelsea. So, but that has to stop one way or the other, which is the sort of thing we did for Orate. Then you'd know if you try to bend us over, we'll walk. That's what I want to see. The midfield saga at Chelsea continues to brew, and it's time to pour ourselves another cup of coffee as we delve deeper into the analysis of the players with a streaming with a steaming pot of coffee and data. Yeah, we should do that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Jerry Z, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thomas Bates, Havertz is much more free flowing on the right. He's like most of our players, lacks confidence. And that this is not a season where you isolate any player's performance. So let's move on. Mike McGann wants a Chelsea after Chelsea submitted a bid according to La Repubblica, and the rumors are, correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea of the way, we submitted a bid of £16 million or some, is it euros? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Can you elaborate on Mike McGann's link to Chelsea? Please let him go. Wisdom Effion sounds like a Nigerian brother. If he wants to leave out, let him go. Aaron George, smash the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes to go along. Well, we are at 32 likes. Let's keep it going up, people. Chelsea should sign Mike McGann. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm butchering his last name or pronouncing it correctly. Apologies if that's the case. He is he's good at playing out from the back, and he's a good shot stopper. Hopefully, we're looking at him. But I'd say I'd have to look at him even more. I haven't taken a closer look at him. Roger, welcome to the panel. I hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Let's start you immediately. If again, let's try and be as brief as possible, because it's going to be a very short one today, so that we don't have too much time today, really. And apologies for that. The first one is AS Monaco. Again, hola, gracias, every Spanish you wanted to say, I'm saying to you. AS Monaco are interested in Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard Mendy. I think I want it to happen. It doesn't look like he wants to stay at Chelsea, and we sensed that. I actually did a video mentioning reasons why I think he's going to leave. One of them being, I think he refused outright a contract offer that the club had on the table for him. He probably feels like he's underpaid. He's underpaid, really. But maybe they offered him something again after all he did for us between the stick. Maybe they offered him something he believes is not enough. So he should move on. And I don't think he should be a second choice at Chelsea. Plus, maybe he needs a fresh start, because he got a chance under Frank Lampard, and we learned that probably something isn't still quite right with him. But what you make of his situation, so we can move on from it. I'm taking people back a bit because you joined on time.
You hit me with Spanish, I'll hit you with French. Enchanté, monsieur. How are you, sir? Seriously.
I'm
you
fine.
okay?
I can't complain. Thank you so much for finding the time to join.
My pleasure. Listen, I really feel sorry for this chap. I really do. Mendy, his form dropped at the wrong time, and obviously the ownership issues, hit him at the wrong time, where he was negotiating a new contract. He's unlucky. He's most unfortunate indeed. He is so underpaid. I believe what's he on? Mendy is on 55,000. He's on 55,000 right now.
He's the least paid. Yeah, one of the least paid players at the club.
Pepper is on 150, so he's 95. So he's a third, for all intents and purposes, of what I perceive them to be co-number ones. They both have their positive and negative attributes. If you could combine them, they'd make a super keeper. But listen, when he's in form, he's a magnificent keeper. I think in the Premier League, he's top 3 or 4 if he's on form. And you can say that for Kepa also.
And is there actually, when he was fighting in Arsenal, he was actually one of the best in the Premier League.
Yeah, and in Europe, actually. Didn't he win
and in Europe,
UEFA award? Yeah. He was outstanding for Chelsea for like a year and a half. Absolutely outstanding. Listen, it's a fickle position. It's the equivalent of a cornerback in the NFL. You're out on an island. So, and a lot of things have to go right for you. You know, it's, as I said, and I'll use this example of the last month. You've seen some of the world's best goalkeepers beaten from 22 to 25 yards out. You know, it's that ball moves, and that ball is so fast. It's you know, listen, he does have his negatives. I think he's good enough to start and win trophies for Chelsea or any team in the Premier League.
He is.
And I listen. He's 31. He's in his prime, coach. So you're right. It's selfish for us to say sit on the bench or wait for.
No, I wouldn't if I were him.
Yeah. Exactly. So I get his position. He wants to leave. I'm sad to see him leave, and I thank him for everything he's done. He's been an impeccable person. I just, you know, he deserves better in that way. The way he's been treated, and especially his salary. I mean, listen, who am I to say 55,000 is nothing? But when you compare it, what's relative, right? He is underpaid, you know.
No, I don't think that's here's the thing, but I don't blame the owners because that's where he started, which was probably twice as much an upgrade to how much he was earning in his former club. But listen, still,
listen, if you put pen to paper, you sign a contract, you know, you have to abide by it. It's simple as that. It's now I understand, like if you sign a contract for 100,000 a week and then you fall, and let's say you're only worth 35, 40, then yeah, I get it. Or if you sign a £35,000 contract and all of a sudden you're the world's best and you deserve 100, then yeah, you should be compensated accordingly. You know, I wish him well. I'm sad to see him leave. I really am.
Yeah, I'm sad too, but unfortunately he can't be number 2.
And he shouldn't be. Because he's good enough to start, and both of them are in my. I know I'm going to get stick for it, but they really are. If you look at when the keepers come into the screen, you can see their position. That's the first thing I look at is their footwork and where they're positioned in accordance to where the ball is or anything, you know, and what they do, you know, how fast they come off their line, how they perceive and read situations. There's many things. If you've never played the game, you know, I hear professional former players will criticize a keeper saying, he should have saved it and pushed the ball outwards. Of like, you're lucky to even get a hand on the ball. You know, so listen, I believe he's world class. So when he's on form,
yeah, let's talk about this man here. I think he's gone, and you can see the reason I'm saying he's gone. Let me read it. Exclusive Saudi emissaries in London to present an official proposal to Ngolo Kante. Salary bid could be around Ngolo Kante. Could be around 100. Ngolo Kante
I'm joking
could be around 100 million euros, inclusive of the image rights and commercial deals. This is something probably he's not in 10 years. I don't think. Let's say at least in 5 years, he's not gonna get that. I think we had an opportunity when he was reiterating that he wants to stay to lock him down. Even by now,
it's generational wealth, coach. It's generational wealth.
It's generational wealth. Yeah. So it could have been at this point, the conversation would have been to the Saudis, okay, you want him, pay us. But right now, he's going to leave as a free agent.
Yes.
Because after seeing these, Roger, I know you're nice enough to say, no, I still want to play for Chelsea. Keep your 100 million euros. You tell me.
He may do that. I agree. I think he's gone. If anyone's going to be loyal to this club, it's going to be him. But it's a bit too late now. Loyalty should go to hell for me. Go ahead. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't understand why we did this, why we put his contract negotiations on hold. You know, what was it, Lawrence Stewart? Or was it Paul Winstanley? Or was it Vivell? I don't know. There's 2 co-sporting directors and the technical director. So it all depends who makes the call. I doubt very much it's the owners because they're not involved. Well, they shouldn't be anyway. They've hired 3 people to run this club from a personnel standpoint. And whoever decided, or whether it was a collective, decided to put that contract on hold. And I get it; he's got a groin pull. It's like, so they're scared. However, I think that was a mistake, because you should have at least signed him for something. For a 1 or 2 year contract with an extension on 1+. And then if someone comes with ridiculous money like Saudi Arabia,
you take it. We could have gotten at least 50 million from them.
You know what? This is what's going to irk me. Okay. First of all, to see him go is sinful, but to see him go for free, just like Rudiger, it is, that this is unacceptable. And I think whoever's responsible for this, one of the 3 directors, they need to be accountable for this, because not only is he a great player, but you've just cost us X amount of pounds / euros / golf balls, whatever currency you want to use, and not only that, you're losing an integral member of the part of the team. There's many facets where I believe that they've come up short on this. I think this is inexcusable.
It's a huge mistake, really.
Yeah, and we're not just talking about your average. He's not a Roger. This guy is a world class.
And Roger can't play. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. It's the antithesis of him. And not just that, he's a good. He's not just a great player, but he's a great person. He's got a great personality. Every coach / manager says he's a dream to coach, to teach. He's a consummate professional. So you listen, you can have great players, but they can also be bad apples, however you want to term it. This chap isn't. He's a consummate professional. So
I'm going to start saying that now. I usually like to say an exemplary professional. So I'm going to start
exemplary. He is exemplary. Here's
the thing, Roger. I don't think they have, should I say, foresight. I don't think they're following trend. I knew that one day Kante, and plus, if they were paying attention to what's been going on, Al Hilal wanted him.
Yes.
A year ago. They wanted him a year ago.
Strategically, coach, we dropped the ball. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, we dropped the ball, yeah. So, and he's such a talent that I've always argued that he falls into the category of the likes of Modric, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's still young. If you're going by the ages of those guys, he's so special that we should find a way to accommodate him in the team. But unfortunately, we haven't done that. And right now, we could have said to Saudis, give us 50, 60 million, take him. But we can't right now.
And that's cheap. You know what? To be honest with you, out of any player in our squad, the 50-something, including the 22 on loan, out of any player in that whole bloody squad, he is the number one person you don't want to put the contract on hold or lose him for a free.
Unfortunately,
it's the one person. I can't think of a player that is more integral, that is better than anyone else at his position, regardless of position. I can't. Yeah. I'm just being honest with you.
He's gone, and we're not being nice after dragging him again, running him into the gutter, utilizing him as if he was a machine.
Yeah, him and
all of a sudden, he's injury prone. But that's, by the way, I don't think God will forgive us. Really.
Honestly, this disgusts me, coach.
Yeah, it is. It's disgusting, really, because other players will pay attention to that. Look at Real Madrid. You know how they top up players? A player from another club will get injured, they will send them a get well message. Even players they don't want. Yes. But in that case, all we've done is, you can say, treat players as if they're not humans, and they're going to go out and talk about, some would tell others, don't go to Chelsea.
Yeah, it's like their cattle, right?
Yeah. It's a PR nightmare, really.
It's embarrassing, coach.
Yeah, it's embarrassing too. Chelsea submitted a bid of 52 million, which is 52 million pounds, which is 16 million euros. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, brother. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We're at 40 likes. Remember, we're looking for 300 likes. Let's make it happen. McGlenn doesn't want. He's not worth. He does not worth. Okay, he's not worth 50 million pounds. He's worth 30 million. In your opinion, the disclaimer, we like that. IMO, please do that. West Ham want Gallagher according to Football Transfers. And again, if the club wants to sell him, fine. If they keep him, I don't have any argument. If anybody that the club decides to keep, simply means the manager wants him to stay. So that's how I see it. And keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 41 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 200 likes. Let's make it happen. This here from Jerry Z says, Coach, given your early woke-up time of 2 a.m., I am curious about your sleep schedule. When do you typically sleep? During the day, sometimes. During the day, sometimes. That's why sometimes we're not able to do evening shows. And it's worse now because my in-laws left. So it's just I and 3 boys, 3 kids, and my wife also. So here's the thing, I teach, and I teach from home. So that makes it easier. And my job, also the job I have, is I can do from home. But it's not easy right now. But in a few days, 2 days' time, the one that I take to school every morning will have about 3 months, 2 months break or so. Then that will be helpful. But thank you for asking. I appreciate that. That shows your care. This says, let me see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 55K a week is like a championship player has 5K a week. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But here's the thing. When he joined us, it was a big improvement for him. But at one point, I think we should have tried to give him a new contract earlier than we did. But unfortunately, I think it's a bit too late now. Mendy is going to move on. If that makes sense, you can keep your amount. We ain't paying him more than 55 million. I've seen that myself. It doesn't look like we want to sell him, but we'll get to that topic. Todd Bowley doesn't know nothing about football. Okay, be careful there before a Chelsea fan gets mad at you and deals with you. The figures mentioned earlier are quite enticing, especially when compared to my monthly earning of just 4,000. I understand how that feels, but it's football. And here's the thing: Kante is gone. Just feel like he's gone. It's as simple as that.
Strong possibility.
So he'd be if he says he's staying and rejects 100 million, then I'll start praying, God, please give him the keys to his house in heaven in advance, because he's that nice.
May I ask you something? How much input do you think Poch is having right now? Is he the one that's going to the directors? No, I'm fine if this chap leaves, or we must have this guy. Do you think he's got input? Because
I think he's got input. I think that he's got input. Yeah, the input because they consult him and say, "What do you think about Kante's situation?" I don't think they just say we're not giving Kante another contract. I think they reach out to them and say, "Look, he's been injured. Again, he's been out for about 10 million months, and then he came back and again just got injured again. What do you want us to do? You want us to give him the new contract, or look, we can sign another player?"
Call?
Yeah, something to that effect. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I'm sorry. Do you think this is Poch's call then?
No, he'd be part of the decision, not his sole decision. I think they'd have a conversation.
You would think, though, his input carries tremendous weight, though.
Yeah, it should. But in the case of Kante, it's easy to say, let's move on from him. Because new contract means a higher salary than he's earning, and he's one of the top earners.
I get it. But he's worth it.
I think he's worth it for me. Like I've said, even if you can get just 20 games from Kante, it's enough to help you win something. Because if you look at his Chelsea history since he's joined us, mention one trophy that we've won, that he wasn't
Zero,
winning that particular trophy.
Zero.
Mention even those that we've gotten to those finals and not able to win it, that you could say Kante wasn't pivotal to us getting to the final. There's none.
Coach, he is the only player that I can think of, honestly, regardless of any position, that when he's not on the pitch, we are a different team. Can I ask you, is there another player that you can think of that you can say the same about? I can't think of anyone.
No, except Thiago Silva. Even though he plays in the defense, he's still able to impact the way, to influence the way we play and how well we do on the day, because he leads, and he leads by example.
I agree, but I still don't think to the extent of Kante. But I agree with you. Silva is, he's.
It's just a shout. It's just a shout.
But do you get my point?
Because you could have a bad defensive line, and Kante is on the pitch. The defense will still look solid, just because he's on the pitch. Because start Kante as number 9 he still reads the game so well from the number 9 position that he'd be in front of our 18-yard box breaking opposition play.
He reads the game so well.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've done him dirty. But yeah, maybe the 100 million is a blessing in disguise for him. So
I wish him well. I
wish him well, because to me, I'd say he's gone. If he stays, I'm going to say this again. I'll be the first to start praying, God, please, Kante needs a house in heaven in advance. No matter what happens, he must make heaven.
I think there's a small chance. I think it's like let's say, 25 to 35% chance of him staying.
I don't think he stays anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't look that way, does it?
I don't see that happening. Let's move on. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. We have one more thing that we've discussed that I want you, again, get your opinion, your thoughts on that before we move on. Hi, my question is about, and that's Desmond Moretti, is about whether all players have submitted, the players, they are selling some players. I don't think you can come out and say, it's a risk to come out and say you want to sell player A, B, C, D. Then the buyers will know, okay, you're willing to sell. Then you're in trouble.
You're showing your cards.
You're showing your cards. So you just wait. If the buyers come, buyers can sense it looks like this player doesn't have a future at Chelsea. Let's go try. For instance, Inter Milan coming with a bid, trying with 25 million for what's his name? Trevor Chalobah. That sort of thing. We didn't say we want to sell Trevor Chalobah, but we knew from time there's a chance he leaves. So if they come with something good enough, and he's one of the players on the list that the club wants to sell, then they start listening. That's how it works. If you don't come out and say, yeah, we have a Kai Havertz for sale, this for sale, then you're not going to get anything.
Coach, can I ask you something very briefly? If we wanted to buy Levo Colwill, let's say he was a Brighton player for years, and we wanted to buy him, how much do you think they would put him on the market for?
I think he'd be, but it's not going to be cheap. But
exactly.
You're coming
it's
from
going to
the
be more
perspective.
than it's going to be more than 30 million. Let's put it.
It will be even more. But let's say at this point, given how many games he's played, and how many times we've seen him, maybe not that much. But if it was Chalobah, who's played so much, and we know how good he can be, I think they'd be saying 60, 70.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. You see my point, yeah?
Yeah, quite clear. I see it from another perspective, from the perspective that we don't value our own products.
We don't.
Obin, good day, guys. Guys, are Chelsea really serious in this transfer market? Because I don't understand what's going on. We're serious, but it's a Chelsea thing to expect things to go like this. And when it doesn't, you start getting concerned. So it's natural. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We're at 43 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. So we should be at least on 150 right now. We need a DOF. We desperately need a DOF. Bally shouldn't be involved. I don't think he's getting involved that much anymore. We have footballing people at the club. I think we're not just looking for any DOF.
We have a DOF, coach.
What do we need? What do we need? Sporting director. Is that what we need?
So, coach, we have 2 sporting directors, Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley.
But the DOF, are we mixing things up? Isn't the DOF role different?
Yeah.
We still need one more role. I think we're mixing something up.
So a technical director, which is basically director of football, is Christopher Favell. We've got 3. Listen, most clubs have 1, possibly 2. We already have 3 directors.
So no need hiring any more role. I think they're enough to do that. And I think
exactly.
And I think the ball is becoming less involved. And even if we're hiring any more body, they're looking at the like of Louis Campos and the former Liverpool man. They're not looking at anybody you see out there. Apparently, PSG did not offer any more than Chelsea for Ugarte, and apparently only paying him the same as what Chelsea offered. Yeah, that one is a controversy on its own. It's a scandal. And I'm not sure what really happened, but I'm glad we pulled out. And I mean to us not taking for the right bent over. I'm happy Mendy is leaving. Good for his career. Yep, he needs a fresh start. That's how I see it. Unfortunately, he lost his form. He is not good enough based on current form. for Chelsea. I think you can argue that. It actually took Thomas Tuchel too much time to drop him on the bench. Maybe that would have helped him. That could have helped him had Thomas Tuchel done that. He would have taken some time, look himself in the mirror, do some self-assessment, and realize where his problems lie. Maybe he'd be better off now. But I think the biggest issue is the contract the club offered him. I think he would have stayed and tried to fight for his place. Big up, coach. Big up to you too, Keshan, the New York guy. I hope you're doing well. Chelsea tried to do a dodgy deal with Sporting, and apparently PSG found out about this. Chelsea pulled out of the deal straight away and could be facing legal action. I don't think we're facing any legal action. I think PSG thought what was rumored was the case, that we're trying to buy a stake at from expensive from or at Sporting CP. I don't think, and that was all nonsense. When that came out, I didn't believe it because that would compound the negotiations, and it's never going to be get done on time. But yeah, I think it's past now. Pochettino is on holiday because he's still in the books of Paris Saint-Germain, so he's not going to start until the date quoted. If Chelsea end up selling all these players and then get banned for dodgy dealings, we will have no players. That's the truth, but I don't think that happens. But Chris, thank you for that statement. I don't think we'll sell all the players you're mentioning. I think sometimes, I think some of them will stay. If Chelsea don't sell Mount and he doesn't extend, that will be another blunder. Yep. Right, those guys in charge. It's simple, common sense. I think we'll still sell him. I think the transfer market still has a long way before the door shuts. So we shouldn't be in a rush to sell him just because Man United saying they're paying a certain amount. It's too early. So I'm not concerned right now. I think at one point they will let him go. Please, Kante, take the money and run for your life and leave the Sakers. He's gone. I'm not going to even talk about him again, except voicing how pissed I am that we weren't able to get him to put pen to paper for another contract. 3X dope, nice to see you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And thank you, Chris. Yeah, if you're responding to somebody comment, always mention their name. And thank you so much. I appreciate that. And if you're voicing your opinion, end it with IMO. We like that here. It looks like Poch doesn't have that much input. I think he does. I think he does have a lot of say in what goes on. Neil, nice to see you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. I wish him well in his career. Honestly, I will be fast. I will even fast and pray for Ngolo Kante. I think we did him dirty, really. Who are you prepared to keep, Colwell or Chalobah? If I have to make a choice, unfortunately, oh my goodness, if Colwell has to go out on loan because he's not a defender, I don't want to lose a defender for not looking to sign a defender. I still think Chalobah is a good player, but if I have to choose one, I'd take Colwell. But here's the thing: it doesn't look like he wants to come back for a multitude of reasons that we've already discussed here. But let's see, it's not up to me. I'm just a football fan. Monaco getting Mike McGann from Milan for goalkeeper Caicedo and Vlahovic. It wouldn't be a bad window. He won't, but do I think we'll get all these players? I don't think so. Big up to you too. The beautiful game. I nearly called you Constantine Dante. I agree. Heaven is definitely missing a DM. You seen that one? And no, that other place further south is missing a goalkeeper. Big up my brother Roger. Big up to you too. Roger, did you see that?
Hold on, let me read it. I didn't see it. Sorry.
Should I highlight it for you? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Yeah. The likes do go a long way. 55 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes, and we're still at 50. Let's make it happen, people. Tony, yeah, that's hilarious, really. Tony Maldini is available now. Would be a brilliant technical director. Maybe we should give it a shot. And he's well connected. That will go a long way for us.
We have a technical director, coach. His name is Christopher Vivell.
Okay, so thank you. I think they're talking for the. Here's the thing. I think there are two roles. The DOF role is different.
Right. A director of football is also commonly called a sporting director. They basically.
But sometimes you can have both.
Well, see, I've looked into it. So it's a terminology over the last 30 years that, for instance, their duties overlap in some clubs, in some leagues. But
So
basically,
sometimes we don't need them both. We don't need them both. I don't think so.
So they have different duties. Like a technical director is mostly in charge of, for instance, the philosophy of football and so forth, and the academies and what have you. Sporting directors, or in some countries, director of football. It's the same thing. Sporting director or director of football. But we already have two. They're called co-sporting directors, Stuart and Stanley. So we already have two.
Yeah, and Mr. I lost final to Manchester City. Sorry, I think you're worse off. And let's see what happens next season. No matter how you see it, and I don't care what you say. I think I get where you're coming from, but please don't say that again. Big up everyone, and let him stay in the chat. I'm not just gonna read his comment again. He provides value to the show, so don't worry about it. Except if he becomes too abusive, you can ban him if you want to. Big up everyone. Big up to you too, Keshawn. I would be happy with the top 4 and a trophy on the Pochettino. I'm taming my expectations for the coming season. I don't expect too much, but I strongly believe we'll do better than a lot of people expect us to do. Mendy didn't lose form. He lost at the dressing room. Really? That's another way to put it. Can you elaborate a bit? It'd be interesting to see what you have to say. I am different, okay? I am different. I don't think Mendy was good enough. Looked too floppy, okay? Okay, whereas we're spoiled for a solid goalkeeper, haven't had check-in Courtois. Okay, that's your opinion. In your opinion, and I am different suffices. You know that's a disclaimer on its own. Czech was subbed on when Kepa. Czech was subbed on when Kepa was playing badly, and we didn't have a number 2 keeper yet for number 1 match. I'm not sure. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with. Chelsea should get rid of the 3 sponsors. It's all about money. If they pay well, I don't think they're gonna just drop them. If Havertz amounts are gone, I think we will go all in for Victor Osimhen. Sorry,
I think the 3 contract ends this year, doesn't it? It's not a matter of dropping them. I think it ends.
Yeah, that's the truth. The problem with buying a stake in another club that plays in European competition is that if you meet in a Champions League or European League game, there's a possibility the game could be fixed. We've had that argument here before, and a lot of people said it wasn't going to be an issue. I think at one point it becomes an issue. It's as simple as that. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 56 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. Let's make it happen as soon as possible. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom because we need to switch a topic. Roger, let me get you on this one. So you're all caught up once you speak about Kai Havertz. I don't know about this. Fabrizio Romano has reported that Chelsea are looking for a big fee, something 75 to 80 million or 60. I think he started from 60. And now we're hearing that Chelsea want Kai Havertz to sign a new contract that will significantly extend his stay in London. Otherwise, they will look to do business with potential suitors. Your thoughts? If we can be as brief as possible so we can move on to the next topic. You go ahead, brother.
Wow. I don't know what to say to that. We bought him for 72 million. Listen, to significantly extend. So if you really want him, okay, you don't move him on because he's already got like 2 or 3 years left. Otherwise, they will look to do business with potential suitors. To me, that sounds like it's very contradictory. If you really want someone and you've got 2 to 3 years left on, you don't say, okay, please extend, otherwise we're going to get rid of you. You know, it doesn't make sense. I think that's just clickbait rubbish.
So we shouldn't believe that.
I don't know. It all depends.
I think I agree with you. You don't give such an ultimatum to a player. You're practically saying, if you want to leave, leave. Yeah,
it's like saying, hey, marry me, otherwise I'm leaving you. I guarantee that woman's leaving the door. It's simple as that. I don't know. I don't know the credibility of the source. So
but we don't have to look at the credibility. The report itself doesn't make sense. That's why we're here to analyze such reports. It doesn't make sense, really.
You usually will say, listen, we think you're part of our future. We We want to show you that in writing. We'd like to extend your contract. You know, blah blah blah. We're going to build the team around you, or whatever verbiage you want to say to an individual to get them to extend. That's how you would approach it, I would assume. Or I don't see them wanting for him to move on. He's how long has he got left? 2 more years or 3?
Around 3. Let me check. I think if it is 3, then the club will not be in a rush to sell him.
So we brought him in. He signed in 21-22, and it's a 5-year deal. So that would be what 26.
I think he should still have about 3 years.
So we have 3 years left. So no, it's the right time to start negotiating. So you don't let it go down to 1 year. You want
his contract expires in 2025, so he has about 2 years left on his contract. So if the club sense it that he's unsettled, I think now is the time to let him go. So people, this report we can now say, I think we can say it's absolute nonsense. I cannot wait to see Mount, McTominay. Roger, thank you for that analysis. I think it makes sense. McTominay midfield, it's almost worth paying the 70 million admission fee to watch them two play together. Please, I want to ask if there's that possibility of either Hazard returning to Chelsea. No, not there yet. It hasn't been discussed, which means I think probably big money. I think probably make a big money move to one of the lower leagues, which means that Chelsea, okay, something I didn't read the first part, sorry. And Mendy got hurt, and Potter didn't put him back in. And after he got hurt, but before he got hurt, he was in poor form. And Kepa started and was doing well. I'm thinking we should go for a player like Edson Alvarez. I think he's on his way to Borussia Dortmund. Amadou Onana of Everton. Paulinho is for him. I think these 4, we can't sign the 4 of them. We just have to pick one.
Coach, you talk about us signing that centre back. I think he's I forgot his name that was in the World Cup and had a great World Cup, and he's like
the Croatian.
Yeah, Croatian. So
Leipzig player Gvardio.
Gvardio. Thank you, sir. It's like you say that, you know what, he's surplus to requirements, but then you can say the same about getting another keeper. Yeah, I understand we're not going to use the word backup. I get that. But whether it's Mendy or Kepa that goes, you don't need, you're going to put Kepa on £150,000 a week as backup. It doesn't make sense. You need, listen, I have no problem with getting another person to vie for the position. To work for it, to compete for the starting position. That's what you should do in every single position. But I don't think you should buy with the intention of displacing Kepa or Mendy, because it doesn't make fiscal sense. It just doesn't. He's surplus to requirements then. If we're bringing that now, you do need depth, don't get me wrong. And Slolina, as far as I know, is probably not mature enough. So,
I think people are mentioning goalkeepers because it looks like we're going to sell one of them at least.
Yeah, I think Mendy is. I think he's probably one of the most prominent players to leave. It's slam dunk, I think, if he leaves.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
it looks like it. Let me see how much I can get from the chart, so we'll move on. Mendy vouched for Koulibaly. How do you know he vouched for him? And it flopped. And what? I don't think Koulibaly flopped. You're the one thinking he flopped.
No, I don't think he flopped.
He also wants the same pay as Kepa. So ruffled. The wrong feathers at the wrong time. I think even though there is some truth to what you're saying, but vouch for, you don't sign a player because a certain player vouched for him. Big up to you to Dave031. I hope you're doing one. Some people live for the fortune, some people live for the fame, some people live to play the game. Yes, and I still think a lot of the professionals play for the money and the fame are at the same time mixed because they're no longer in primary school. But you must enjoy the game too. Ruben Loftus-Cheek will end up staying at Chelsea. It looks like it, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Lenfield, I hope you're doing well. It will be premature to make predictions and forecasts regarding our performance in the upcoming season until we'll have a clear picture of the final composition of our squad. I think it makes sense. That's a serious argument. We have to be strategic in the market, and I'm not sure what players we're really trying to sign. What else do we have in here? 2025. What's Constantine Dante saying there? They want a bigger fee for the sale of Kai Havertz. Yep, We've heard that. And have you wondered why so many players are not signing new contracts and are looking to leave? I haven't wondered why. Maybe you can tell us. You're speaking rubbish. PSG doubled their wages. Okay, if you're talking to somebody, you can mention their name. I didn't see that. The Havertz situation is a win-win for me. If he stays, he's a semi-decent bench or option. Or if he dips its money in the banks, we could spend on a real attacker. I mean, that's a sensible argument there. But I don't think if he stayed, he would want to stay to be a bench warmer. But let's see what happens. Only way Hazard is coming back to Chelsea is in a 5 years' time as a coach. I don't think we've seen the last of him. Forget the retirement rumors. I think the Belgian magician will still play football somewhere where I do not know. Honestly, I have to be honest with you.
MLS, probably, or maybe
possibly. But I think he'd get a huge money.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're not getting the DM, we should go ahead and bring back Ampadu and turn him into a DM.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Give it a shot, but let's see. It all comes down to the manager. Glenn Tane, always nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us. Either Havertz signs the contract on their terms or they will get rid of him. Now it's starting to make a bit of sense, but I don't think that makes sense to give him an ultimatum. Maybe, as you explained it here, either he signs a new contract with a new construct, or they sell him. But I'm not sure what to make of that. Athletic is full of lies and those Spanish papers when commenting on English clubs or players. Wow, some argument right there. Glenn 10, a big up. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom after a few comments right here. Otherwise, that's all we'll do for the day. I kindly request everyone to take a moment, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes will go a long way. 64 likes. Let's get it up. Let's get to 100. Shoot for 200 and 300. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. Let's make it happen, people. That's only possible if you keep dropping the likes on the stream. As a Chelsea fan, I'm sorry, but we are a finished club. I remember you said that, but I don't think we're finished. We're going through, should I say, a phase? Not a phase, maybe. We're in a very bad situation right now, but I think we'll bounce back. They're both Senegalese. Chelsea asked Mendy to ask him to sign in Chelsea. That's just you. Okay, I agree. Okay, you win. Maybe you somebody told you that happened. To me, headlines are wrong. We cannot afford to get into a bidding war. It's as simple as that. We just cannot. And I agree with you. Rice's perfect for Poch system as number 6. I don't think so. Poch likes to play with a more mobile number 6, not Declan Rice. If you followed him, and I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Moussa Dembele played in the 6th role for him. If that makes sense. That's not me saying Rice is not a good player. Ampadu would be a perfect DM for us. I don't think he's actually as mobile as I believe Pochettino would prefer. Question for Roger: if Brighton values Caicedo at 80 million, how much would you value okay, Roger, can you take a minute to answer that? Let's move on, please. We don't have too much time to dwell on.
I think he goes for 40, 50 at the least. If Brighton was selling him, for instance, they would want at least 50, 60. He's played for 1 year for them now. I think, I'm sure if they had him and they wanted to sell, I'm sure they would not sell. The asking price would be 30 million. It'd be.
But we have to say this, Roger, just quickly. There's a caveat to that. If he was at Brighton, he'd play more games than he played at Chelsea and would be seen more.
No, I agree. Totally agree. No, yeah.
No, go ahead with what you were saying. I just wanted to chip in there.
I don't see him being sold for anything less than 40 to 50 if Brighton were selling him. Let's be honest, especially to a team like Chelsea.
If Brighton was selling him, he'd play more game time. He'd seen more, but at Chelsea, he's only played a few games.
How often did he play for Brighton? He played quite often. Yeah.
You're talking about who now?
Levi Colwill.
He's played quite often, quite well for them. Oh, I think you're talking about Lewis Hall. I'm mixing things up here.
Yeah. I'm talking about. Wasn't that about Levi? The question was Levi.
Yeah, it was Levi. So you're correct. Yeah. So, but if he was still at Chelsea probably won't play that much and won't be seen that much. But because it's a
Yes,
Brighton now,
I
he's gotten to
agree.
play more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably we're not going to be able to sell him at the price that Brighton will be able to sell him because they give him the opportunity and he'll be seen even more. So yeah, our case is different, unfortunately. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We're getting close. Let's get it to 100 likes and shoot for 200. Remember, we want 300 likes. Wow. What sort of comment is this? Let's see what else we have here. I'm just going to move on from it. I have just added Uate to my list, coach. You just added him to list. Better take him off. He's no longer on the list. Ampadu is decent, but wouldn't get into the other top teams in the league. So I don't think... I don't
Look at John Stones for City. Look what Pep did to him. He put him
But
in...
here's the thing. Given the disparity and how experienced they are, Ampadu will still be a risk.
I don't know. I've seen it. Listen, he's played for Wales on the international level in the European Championships and the World Cup in that position. So he's played at the highest level. You can't deny that. I know.
Yeah, I agree with you, but it's still a huge. I don't think we're willing to do that. I think we're looking.
No, I agree. But you see my point. No, it's not like he's. Listen, when you play at the highest, I know it's different. Knockout international is a very different type of football, but still, he's done that. So I value him. I like him. I always have since I saw him play when he was 17. I think he has the potential and the physicality, the height, everything, and his passing. He has a great passing regimen. You know, his repertoire. You know,
I give him that. I give him that. But I think if we have to do that, it has to be a gradual process. I don't think that's an. I don't think we'll have the luxury to do that now. It's a risk that will further compound our issues, if that makes sense. But if worse come to worse, I mean, it'd be manageable until we get a permanent solution. Ampadu is decent, but I've read that one. Jersey saying has that a move to Arsenal could provide Arteta with the necessary element to bottom the league title next season. I don't think he wouldn't actually accept to go to Arsenal. And Nkunku has got the minerals. Let's have it right. I agree with you. I think he's going to do well. Dyer played in a back three for Poch as plan B formation. Okay, so let's see what Pochettino does right now. He may well have changed. He may well not be the same Pochettino that you knew from Tottenham. Poch needs a mobile DM with good defensive skills and also able to help start an attack effectively, find solutions in tight spaces. You could argue that was why we wanted Duarte so desperately. But there are other options that you could argue that are equally good.
May I ask you a question? Do you think our directors of football or sporting directors, do you think they just walked away from the deal like Man City did with Cucurella?
Yeah, something like that. And I like that. I'm still going to say that. I like that. I get it. We wanted them. And reports were that we're very close. But go ahead.
So are you saying now that we're going to be doing business differently, where we're not going to be just throwing money at it? Like we're going to be disciplined. We're going to be disciplined from now on and say, this is how we perceive the player. This is how we financially value him as a commodity. And we're not. Okay.
I'm sensing that. And in 2 years, it's going to be even more of that. We're not going to be spending too much in 2 years because how much they spend in our up-and-coming talents shows they want them to mature and be integrated in the team and not have to spend too much money again in the future. Does Roger want Ampadu to play DM for Chelsea? We're just having a conversation. It's a suggestion. He's not saying that that's what he wants to happen. Colwell only played like 10 senior games. He's not worth more than 30 million pounds in your opinion. Colwell plus 30 million for Caicedo is fair. And I'm sensing that may well happen because common sense will tell you that everything you've seen happen around Levi Colwell shows probably he prefers to remain at Brighton than come back to Chelsea. If Brighton will not sell to us without involving Levi or want over 70 million, we should move on to another target. Tony Tiger, let's see what the club does. It's not our decision. We could argue that from now to tomorrow, it doesn't change anything. Stones played more before getting a move to City. You cannot compare Stones to Ampadu.
He played 17 games this season. It wasn't 10. It was 17. I just looked it up.
Okay. He's saying Ampadu is not the CFC level. Your opinion? Yeah, we all have our opinion, and I'm not saying he's CFC level. I just say he's a good player.
He's
Whether
got the
he's
potential.
CFC, whether he's a potential still, because he's still 23. A CFC level or not, that's a different argument for another day. Why not Koulibaly at the DM like what Pep? I think he looks like, but I'm not too sure. Let's give it a try. But I think we'll sign a traditional DM. I don't think we will experiment with anything. Stones was one of Everton's best defenders during his time. When the fans were so scared how he likes to keep the ball and not in a hurry to put it forward. I remember Di Matteo. Was it Di Matteo was the former Belgian coach? Telling the Everton fans to just trust him when he's with the ball in his feet. Trust him, he's not going to lose it. Ampadu is left-footed with CDM. Ampadu by now probably too confused for me to be, but I get the argument.
No, I wouldn't mind seeing Reece in midfield. I really wouldn't.
Like I said, I don't think we have the luxury to experiment right now. It will compound our problems.
In the Championship, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did that for Wigan, and he did well.
Yeah, he did well.
But he hasn't done that for a while. So I think if we have to do that, it has to be a gradual process. Then Koulibaly start in midfield, then move to CB. I don't know that part of his history. Ideally, bring back Cowell and sign up Palinha and Kone or Kifrem Thuram. We should stop dealing with Brighton as soon as possible. It just doesn't make sense. Thuram would be great, but think he will go to Liverpool. Yeah, because they are negotiating with his camp. If Mendy leaves, Kepa of last season does not have the capacity to take up to take us to the dreamland. Except he comes better next season, he becomes okay. But Kepa and Mendy not good enough. No number one for top club except they improve. Okay, in your opinion. But let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. For me, I'd rotate Reece James to DM and put Gusto right back. Okay, and it's still a risk because two of them could get injured in the same game. Then we're in trouble. Let's see. Wally Waldo, my bro, always nice to see you. I think I've read that one, but I just didn't say hello to you. This says we should also remember Ampadu plays as. For me right now, I'd say it's probably confused. Loan after loan, playing him in different positions. I think by now he's probably confused. Sorry, I'm off topic, coach, but there's a contract offer for Kante for a while now. He never accepted it, and now it seems like he could go to Saudi Arabia for massive money. Where is the drama? Let me ask you this. We've talked about that. We were the ones, the contract offer isn't on the table for him. They were still negotiating. They were still talking, and it was close in March, they said. So now we were the ones that put it on standby, not Kante. And now Kante has seen the money. So practically he's gone. So there's no drama there. He's always reiterated that he wanted to stay at Chelsea. But I get where you're coming from. If Cowell wants to leave, then I'd let him go. No point at keeping a player that doesn't want to stay. That wouldn't make any sort of sense. But in my opinion, from what I've seen happen around him, it just seems as if he prefers to stay at Brighton. The most telling of all is the fact that Brighton did come with a bid and offer to Chelsea to buy him, which I believe they will not do that without his consent, without him saying, okay, go give it a shot. Realistic Roger just loves everyone that played for Chelsea. If Roger was a manager, our squad will be 1 million players. How many zeros am I seeing? That I can't quite see it. But that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. 71 likes. Let's make it happen. Big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. My bro from another mother. Thank you for finding the time to join the show. Please go check out his YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you great content. And also, again, believe me, you don't want to miss subscribing to his channel. Please do that. Let's see what else we have here. I'm going to move on to the next topic as soon as possible. Get Paulinha and Ampadu. Okay. Let's get the likes up, people. 71 likes. 29 more to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. What else do we have here? I would like to suggest a format, a recommendation, coach. When you invite Roger to join the conversation, it would be beneficial if he participated at the time to maintain a more structured dialogue. Okay, thank you for that suggestion. I'll keep that in mind. This recommendation is not directed against Roger, but rather aimed at enhancing the flow of the discussion. Okay, thank you for saying that.
How am I not structured? In what context?
No, not you. Not I think he's referencing the going back to topics we've talked about back and forth. I think that's what I believe he's trying to say. Yeah. Please, not Reece James. Let's move on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 850 likes. Let's keep it going. Enzo James, a double pivot with Gusto at right back. Okay. Good luck with that. Koulibaly as a 6 wouldn't be bad. He's a skillful. He's a fine player, but I don't think would do that. But let's see. It will not patch. Reece James at midfielder could be good, especially if he assumes a captaincy. He can command, connect, link, and play. I like that comment there. It's delicious. Sounding like a rapper right now. This is Chelsea asking Havertz to sign a new contract. We'll discuss that. And I think Roger's analysis of that report doesn't really make sense. Kante is going to Saudi Arabia for the money. Let's be real. Yeah, wouldn't you? I would. But even if my mother owns the club, I would take it in a heartbeat. We had the chance to tie him down with him. I like Manuel Ugarte. Unfortunately, he's not coming to us in Dumbo. I love Kante, but he's always injured. Bessie goes to Saudi for us instead of dwindle away at Arsenal or Manchester United. He's not going to join either clubs anyway. That's just a conversation. Let's see what else we have here. I'm getting to the bottom, so please be patient with me. Replace Kante with Kai, and he's a money-hungry shark. Oh my goodness. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. Let's see. Ziyech can go. We know that. I think we don't need scientists to tell us that. I'm in a hurry to get to the very bottom right now. I don't think Ampadu, okay. It's as bad as they make it to look. He's still young. He's a potential. But we give up on young players easily. That's what Chelsea fans do. Bring Odoi. Okay, let's see that happen. If Roger was a player, he would have been suspended with wages deducted for taking us back. Really? Okay. Reece at midfield will be, again, less injuries. Coach, it's been so long since I've used my timeout option. I need to get my stats up. Get it up. It's up to you. If anybody's misbehaving, do that. Chalobah as backup right back for Gusto to, okay, that could work, but let's see. Let's keep suggesting the experiments. Why not put Roger at DM? He's as skillful as Rodri. Okay. And look, the love keeps coming. To be honest, Chalo has played DM as well during his youth days. Here's the thing, during his youth days. Plus, I don't think he's mobile enough to be Poch's type of DM. And I think I've followed Poch enough to know that he's not the guy for him. Ruben Neves already secured a verbal agreement with Barca while we are waiting for Oate. We will lose for Linha too while chasing preschool kids. Here's the thing. I don't think us not being able to sign players is actually down to us. Players want clubs that are better positioned. Right now, we're in shambles, and that's why it takes some convincing to get players to sign for us. And respect to Enzo, respect to all the players who signed. I respect them for coming to us, even though we were in bad place when they came to us. McAllister having his medical for Liverpool today. Congratulations to him. He's one player I would have loved to sign, but I sensed a long time ago that we were not looking at him. Question for the panel: where does a player run most in the midfield or at right back?
Right and left back. Yeah, right and left back.
Again, you can say full backs, wing backs.
The full backs or wing backs by far.
Yeah, but when you play in the central area, you always have outlets close to you all the time. It depends, but not on the panel, but I'd say midfield. Okay, that's by the way. I'm gonna go to Eddie's in the house. Eddie, big up to you and thank you for finding the time to join us today. I appreciate you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. It's just I'm gonna take this question. Just give me 1 second, Eddie. It says run in right back, obviously. Yep. Coach, could you please explain the criteria you use to select the most delicious comments? I'm not going to say that. It's just if it's aligned with the current topic and it makes sense and it's objective and it's no name calling, then it counts. That's delicious. But that's, by the way, Eddie, you can go ahead. You want to come in anywhere? You want us to move to the next topic? You want to come in with the Havertz discussion? What do you make of it before we move on?
I actually just joined now, so I don't know what exactly you're talking about with Kai Havertz. Just what is on the screen there, is it?
But Eddie had again. Roger analyzes, and I think I agree with Roger. It just doesn't make sense. It's saying Chelsea want Kai Havertz to sign a new contract that will significantly extend his stay in London. Otherwise, they will look to do business with potential buyers. It doesn't make sense. If you give a player such an ultimatum, probably they'd leave. What makes sense to me is something that Kishan, the New York guy, had in the chat, where he said something to the effect of they're asking him to sign a new contract because they have a new contract because they have a new format now. So that makes more sense than saying they're giving him an ultimatum. Yeah, he said they're trying to get him to sign a new contract with the new format, and then he says otherwise they'd look to sell him. That still sounds like an ultimatum too, but a bit more, you can say, makes sense more than what we're looking on the screen. Yeah, if you want to talk about that, if not, we can move on.
Yeah, there's no problem. Sorry, excuse my manners. Roger, how are you doing, Roger, as well, yeah?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Hey, Roger is already pissed off. He didn't say hello for us, so he's not.
No, it's all right. It's all right, Roger. Roger will understand that. No problem. Yeah.
Try, coach.
Well, no, you see, I don't understand. How many years has he got left on his current contract?
3.
He'd have 2 years left. No, I think right now you can say he has just 2 years left. I have it open. Just give me 1 second.
He signed in 21-22 as a 5-year contract, which means what, 26, 27?
You can say he has less than 2 years left. Since it expires in 2025. So
asking him to sign a new contract to keep him.
Sorry, just quickly, Eddie. Roger, does he make sense now?
No.
His current contract expires in 2025. Where is it again? So we're in 2023, and where are we with 2023? It's almost finished. Okay, yeah, 2 years. He has just 2 years left. You can say that.
So
yeah, he has 2 years left. Yeah.
Okay. So are they saying they want him? So are they saying they want him to sign so they can keep him, or sign and then they sell him on? Or what's the rationale behind him signing? And I don't understand the logic behind that.
That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense. The report doesn't make sense. I think Roger analyzed it quite well, and yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't think they'd say such to a player. It's no different for saying, that player would just leave because I just don't get it. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, because if you're asking a player to sign, sometimes the club, they do that just to make sure they get more value for him, more money for him when he's like they want him to leave. Like Caicedo, he only signed a contract, even though they know he might be leaving this season. They asked him to sign last season, which will put them in that position of strength to negotiate a better payment. So that makes sense in that way. But if you're saying Kai Havertz, who is like he wants to leave by all, all indications, he wants to leave. So if you're saying he wants to leave this summer and you're asking him again to sign, do you want to keep him and then you sell him next summer, or how does that work? So I don't understand that. If he's leaving, it's either you want to keep him or you want to sell him. And if he wants to go this summer, then he can go. If he has about 2 years left on his contract. So if they're quoting any figure, between 52 and 60, 70 million, if they want to sell, then I think that actually makes sense. But if you want to keep him and then give him that condition, if you sign, then you can stay, or if you don't sign, we sell you. That to me is illogical.
Yeah, I agree with you. Mabatsa, thank you so much for that kind words. I appreciate that. Coach only uses the term delicious comments on your comments. You think? Basically, your comment must be seasoned with jerk sauce and served with jollof rice, not.
That's very good.
That's what makes it count as jollof rice. So, Roger, this one is for you. Roger, have you forgotten so soon that TT played James in DM for 2 games during our injury crisis? James was a disaster I remember those days. I think, and that's why I'm saying, if you want to do that, it's something. It has to be a gradual process. You have to start playing again, practice it in training and all that. It takes a while.
Exactly.
And he hasn't played there for a while now.
I don't say just put him out there with no training. Of course, you do it in the preseason. You do it day in, day out. You work on it. It doesn't happen where you just like put him in there and throw him in the deep end. Of course, it takes a person time to acclimate, shall we say. But if you've got experience in playing in that position and you've done it extensively before, which he has for a whole season, yes, at the championship level, but still. So you have like, shall we say, to coin a phrase, muscle memory. You're able to do it. Now, true, this is a different league and it probably presents, it's done at a higher level, so I get it. But I believe, over time he can succeed. You've got to start somewhere. I'm just saying, from my opinion, I believe he fits the bill where I think it would negate his injury or reduce it based on the fact that he wouldn't be required to run as much as a right back or a right winger. And B is his passing range is excellent. His tackling ability is excellent. I think he's prototypical in that regard. I think he would succeed quite well, in my opinion.
Yeah, and now you have to give Roger a break. He has explained he's not just saying just put them in and start using them there. He knows, again, they have to practice this for a while. We get it. Roger is the goalkeepers union chairman, but he understands football quite well. BC in attacking the right back goes, okay, you're responding to someone. Okay, so I'm gonna move beyond that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Yes, unless your coach is Mourinho. I think they're talking about something there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Then if you're in right back, you're not going to do too much running. If Mourinho is your coach, you have to defend. If you watch any televised football match, you'd know that simple observation. Everybody knows that. Especially if you're a wing back, wing backs do more running on the wing backs, and you can say wingers do running too. In my opinion, a midfielder runs more, and if you play James as a DM, his injuries are gonna get worse. No, I think it depends on the approach, or it depends on the individual. For instance, play Kante in the goalkeeping position, he'd still run quite a lot.
I think it was statistically proven that the right back and left back position, the wing backs, however you want to term it,
they do a lot of running.
That they do the most out of any position, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So if you look at the structure of any formation you play with, it depends. Usually in midfielders, they have more outlet. Whenever they have the ball, there's always somebody looking to take it from them, if that makes sense. But in most cases, on the flanks, right backs do a lot of running. They put balls for them into space. It's just them and the wingers too, so they have to run in behind to go meet up with the ball and still do something nice with it, if that makes sense. But yeah, you can say it'd be solid argument to say it all comes down to the approach of the manager, if that makes sense. Let's keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We're at 79 likes, 21 more to get it to 100. Let's make it work. Let's keep going. Do I really need to show you a heat map from his season gone? Okay, you're having a conversation with people, please. If you're having a conversation, put the name of you can say proceed your comment with the name of the person. That way I'll be able to, know you're just having a conversation with somebody there, because we have too many things to get. If he resigns, then Chelsea can sell him for more money. Good business. But I don't see Kai agreeing. Maybe he's not going to agree to the new contract construct, if that makes sense, or format, for lack of a better term. But keep dropping the likes on the stream. 20 more to get it to 100. Today, we met the owner of Chelsea, Todd Boehly, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, specifically the capital of Riyadh, and he assured us that the future of the club will be bright. I don't even need him to tell me that. I have questions. I have lots of questions. They've made mistakes, and I've come to realize the mistakes they made probably is the reason why we suffered as much as we did this past season. But I'm one of those, how I live my life, I move on. And I'm seeing that they're learning from their mistakes. It's as simple as that. And I want to give them a chance, because if I can jump to the sky and land upside down. it doesn't change anything. And say I did it because I want Todd Boehly to leave Chelsea. It's not going to leave Chelsea. So I just move on my life and look forward to the future. And I want us all to do the same. But thank you for presenting this. He doesn't have to say that. I know I've seen things that made me believe they're learning and the future is bright. I've always said that. So bright, you're going to need glasses to see it. We may have to suffer a bit more. I get it. But let's move on, please, from that. But thank you, Santiago Munoz. That counts for a delicious comment, actually. I know a lot of people are not going to like that, but it counts for a delicious comment. I want to get Bobby started in a bit. Most players are on, is it Champions League wages? Since we are not playing in the Champions League, club may not be able to pay the wages. But does it start now? Does the past season count? I don't think it counts. I'd say that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes still go a long way. 19 more to get it to 100. And please go check out Soccer Perspective. That's our sister channel. It's still growing, even though we don't release too many videos. But it looks like we're going to do the Champions League watch along there, halftime analysis and full-time analysis. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Please go check it out. Subscribe. Nobody to tell we sent you because it's the same family. But thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see what we have. I am trying to put my 2 brain cells to work, coach. Maybe you need coffee. You need coffee. And big up to you, my bro, ZV Genius. You were in the chat the other day, but before we start the show, you were gone. But nice to see you. Please go check out his YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. Excellent content creator. You can say he's gone from a friend to bro, and he's doing well. Please make sure to subscribe. Let him know I sent you. I really appreciate that. Yep, and I know he'd be happy that Kai is leaving. And but you tell him you don't like Paris Balaga, then you start in a fight. Kai is gone. Happy days. You think he's gone, but let's see what happens. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. 83 watching with only 79 likes. Those are Havertz XG stats. Get the likes. So stop selling us wolf tickets and do the talking on the pitch. Well, he doesn't play. Future is bright. If I want to hear that stuff, I can get the palm reading done. That one is, I get it. That one is good, man. Really, really good. Sorry to take you back. Just made a research. A midfielder runs more than a right back. Okay, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but if I look at it again, if you ask me, I tell you right backs run more. But I still argue it depends on the midfielder you're talking about. It depends on the approach of the team. In Pep Guardiola's approach, you could argue those on the flanks probably will run more than those in the central areas. But I get it. Maybe I need to look at it again. But thank you for bringing that up. Quick saying that this is coming, coach. Just use another term like good point or interesting take or summer viewpoint, whatever. So I don't waste it, or maybe say it only when it's you to say something. Okay, I understand that. So Bobby, let's bring you in. Your thoughts. What's your take on the Kai Havertz situation, so that we can move on to the next topic. I know you just joined, and I hope first of all, pardon my manners. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're recovering better, brother.
Yeah, pick up, guys. One step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking about? You said so much.
Kai Havertz, the future. We're not sure where we're at with the whole thing. It's everywhere. Right now, they're saying that the club is asking him to sign a new contract that will significantly extend his stay in London. Otherwise, they will look to do business with the potential suitors. So I'm not sure what to make of it. And Roger has analyzed it quite well. Even AD joined in with that. We all can agree it's absolute nonsense. That's how I see it.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of different types of stories, isn't it? People are they love to pin some kind of scandal on Chelsea or unsavoriness, or I don't know. I have no opinion at the moment on Kai Havertz. I don't even know if he's actually up for sale. What I do know is Real Madrid haven't bid anything, so I don't think it's an issue at the moment.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Let me find out something with something I'm seeing in the chat here. If Kante leaves now, does it mean we're not going to get anything? If he leaves now,
Yeah, free.
we get it's free. Oh, because he's allowed to talk to clubs from January, right?
His contract has ended.
It has ended, coach. He was able.
Oh my, yeah. So I just wanted to find out because
That's
yeah,
what I was saying earlier, coach. It's like
yeah. We agree, but I saw something in the chat that's making me say, wait, what's going on here?
no.
But I think it's Glenn saying looks like Kante to Al Hilal is closed deal for 2 years, and also so yeah, I think he leaves as a free agent. Go ahead with what you were saying, Roger.
No, I didn't mean to interject, Bobby. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like we should have tried to extend his contract, but, you know, and not put it on the sidelines. I understand he's got a groin injury, but still, worst comes to worst, you extend the contract or get him to sign a new one, and then if he gets new offers for ungodly amounts, then you sell him accordingly. You know, now he's going to walk just like Rudiger, just like Christensen. This is what infuriates me. Not only are we letting a great player leave, you know, and that term is used way too often, but he truly is. But he's leaving for free. We're not even getting 99p for him. We're getting 0. It's ridiculous.
It's infuriating,
business.
really.
As business goes, this is ludicrous.
It doesn't make sense. We had the opportunity, and he's always reiterated his willingness to remain at the club. But
Exactly.
unfortunately,
And he's a consummate professional. It's not like
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I think we've done a poor job how we've handled this, in my opinion.
Yeah, we've
Well,
done.
you know, his contract has finished, but it's not over yet.
No, that's true.
They're still negotiating. So
You would hope,
Yeah.
but
I wouldn't.
if he does leave on a
from
free,
turf, yes.
then what does this tell us?
What are we saying if he does? Bobby, would you forfeit 100 million up to do what?
Is
Bobby,
that
tell
what
me, would you
he's
do
being
that
offered?
really?
Is he being offered that?
Yeah. 100. They're already in London. Look at it here. Exclusive from Fabrizio Romano. Saudi emissaries in London are to present an official proposal to Ngolo Kante. Salary bid could reach 100 million, inclusive of the image right. That's a life, like Roger put it. Let me do a tap in on Roger. A lifetime earning for some people. Some people don't even get to 5 million. Generational, yeah. I mean,
offside.
Yeah, Bobby, would you forfeit it and say and be nice to stay at Chelsea?
Well,
He's gone.
I mean, at the end of his career, he's going to take it, and you know, Saudi is very. I don't know much about sort of Islamic things.
Well, he's Muslim also, so
yeah. So okay, then it's more than likely he's going to go there, and
yeah.
I wish him luck if he goes there and just end his career there.
Ditto. However, we could have sold him. We could have wrapped his contract up and then sold him, perhaps.
We were playing smart. Now it's a bit too late. Probably because he's not the sort of guy. If you speak with him, probably because after again, when they held talks with him, the sense is that he really want to stay and didn't see any chance of him leaving, and probably was deciding, okay, let's see what we do with him. He's not going to leave. Now he's going to leave on a free, because if we tied him down even for 1 more year, and these guys in the Saudis come calling, would get at least 20, 30 million from him. But it has happened. And what will infuriate me even more, I started a tweet which I said, Kante needs a banner. Whether he leaves or stays, next season we have to unfoil a banner for him. He deserves that. You know, he's not the most flamboyant, because I've seen players of lesser quality who's done less for this club get banners again unveiled at the breach, unfortunately. But I'm going to move on, because I'm going to get pissed right now if I keep talking about him.
He's 1 League Cup away from winning everything, just like Aspie. He's won everything except the bloody League Cup. That speaks volumes.
Yeah, and Glenn, thank you for that update. And Eddie, Loftus-Cheek, I want to thank you for all the updates you've been sending me. You know, I make very use of them. Some of them I make very good use of them. Some of them I use them to produce YouTube shots. Some of them I use during the show. So thank you. Please, if you always have time, don't stop. I appreciate that. You're a member of the team, actually, even though it's pro bono, I appreciate that. The update that Glenn sent to me says Ngolo Kante is in advanced talks to join again Al Ittihad. A Saudi delegation is in the UK for face-to-face meeting to seal the deal. Offer of 2 seasons with a total package that could reach 100 million euros in 2 seasons. I don't want to say how much I'm earning, but I'm ashamed, really. Unfortunately.
That would be 101 million more than me.
He deserves it, honestly. Probably his niceness is the reason why they had the guts to put his contract negotiations on standby. He deserves better. But that's, by the way, let me read these. I'm going to get to the very bottom so we can switch topic. Coach, I don't think it's fair for people in the comments section using Gallagher running stats to prove that midfield runs better. I know where you're going with that.
Funny.
Looks like Kante, it's going to get done. Glenn, thank you for that update, please. I appreciate that. And I appreciate any updates you send to me. Some of them I've used to produce delicious YouTube shots, and they're doing well. Quite a lot. And again, getting us lots of subscribers to the community. Some news are saying Bali is in Saudi Arabia. What is he doing there? I don't know. Maybe he spoke with them. Maybe he's the one that told them we're not looking to extend it. You go talk to him. Kante's contract ends end of June of this year. Okay. So, but he's allowed to talk to people. So does that mean, I'm not sure. I don't want to get into that. Bobby, do you see the relationship of Pochettino and Chelsea board potentially getting fragile with Mount leaving, Uarte not coming, things that Poch wanted as widely as speculated? Before Bobby comes in, I'm going to say this quickly. Those people you're mentioning, do they want to stay? And then ends up the club saying, no, you can't stay. But Bobby, you go ahead.
Exactly. This is the thing I talk about. We've already started this talk, and Pochettino hasn't even started the job. So we're looking for the scandal, looking for the disharmony. That's the Chelsea fan base. Why are we dwelling on a non-issue? Just as you said, Coach, some of these players may want to leave. Some of them may have different options that they feel is better. For example, Ngolo Kante now, he's going to his beloved sort of Muslim nation, and they're going to pay him a lot of money, and he's in the twilight end of his career. I don't blame him for making that move. What is the point of this sort of even suggestion? I'm not trying to disparage the question, but I just find it, I can't fathom why your mind would go that way when the issue doesn't even look like arising. Let this guy start the job. Let him get his squad. Let us get through at least half of a season before we even start entertaining these sort of discussions. It doesn't make it has no value to me. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like...
But Bobby, can I just say something very briefly? The issue I have with this subject matter is the fact that knowing that he wanted to stay, that we could have, when I say we, that the sporting directors, or the technical director, probably the sporting directors, that's their job description. They sidelined his contract where, because he stated he wanted to say, we could have at least given him a 2+1 or a 1+1, and then had he been approached, then guess what? We could have made a profit out of him. Instead, he's leaving like Rudiger and Christensen. That's where I have an issue.
I think, and I
it
don't
has nothing to do with Poch.
I think what is happening here is that in March, when the extension of the contract was about to be signed, he then got that injury. And you don't know what the medical advice
No, I get that.
That was given to the club. And so the club were in limbo. What do we do? They've spent a lot of money, and they don't deliberately go and waste money. And also they're considering the player. You don't know what discussions was had with the player. The player may have told them that, look, I'd love to stay, but if you're concerned by the medical reports, let my contract lapse and let me go to Saudi Arabia. That is a form of respect that the club is giving him for his absolutely sterling service to the club. We don't know that detail. I don't know. I don't want to look at everything to use to beat the club over the head with. I just don't see any value in that. They know how important he is. He
And
was on
I
the cup.
normally totally agree with you, but just because of his stature and because it was sidelined, I agree. I'm assuming, but just for it to be quote unquote sidelined, the way the PR was set, that to me I found a little bit disturbing.
Yeah, I mean, you could be right. I'm not sort of. I
No, no,
can't
no.
deny anything.
I agree with what you're saying, but you see my point of view.
Yeah, yeah. But this guy was on the cusp of signing. Then he got another injury.
It was a
This
groin injury,
this is
yeah.
somebody who well, there may be more to it than that.
Sure.
This is somebody who had a history of injuries because of the way he plays. Now, is it better for him to go and see out his career in luxury and in the sun and heat of the Saudi desert, where he'll be treated like the king that he deserves, or to continue in the battle-thirsty Premier League, wind, rain, and cold, and having himself exposed to injury every other game? Well, I know what I would choose if
No,
I
no, I
were
get
him.
it. I get it.
All right, let me catch up with the chat. We have a few stuff to get. Glenn says, I won €7 with Euro Millions on Friday. My bags are packed. I am leaving Arab. I'm learning Arab as soon as possible because that's where the money is. Coach, can I get a year for a new signing? Not yet. I think I'm going to learn how to pronounce that correctly, but I like the year. And that's by the way. I'm going to move on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Kante is Muslim. Yep, we know that. And I think he will enjoy Saudi Arabia closer to again Saudi. That's what's it called? The pilgrim.
It will be a kind of spiritual thing for him.
Yes,
for him,
Mecca.
yeah. So yeah,
Probably for his family as well, who I'm
Mecca.
sure
Yeah.
are probably
Mecca is in Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very big deal for these guys.
Yeah, it's big though, yeah.
They take it very seriously. So I can see that deal being done, and I can see him spending those 2 years of his career and then retiring.
Yeah, even though if you look at the situation, you could say it didn't end badly. I think it ended on a good note. We respected him, but the fans, again, whatever happens, the moment next season starts, we have to, unveil Kante banner, whether he is at the stadium or not. He deserves our respect. But
Absolutely.
yeah, he's not. Yeah, Kante does a lot of charity work. He deserves it. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's actually not into money that much. But this is a lot of money. Even if you're not into money,
He will donate. He will donate a lot, I dare say.
He will. Yeah, I agree with Roger. Kante is one player you just don't sell. Unfortunately, he's gotten to the level where he has to leave, no matter what happens. And I hate to talk about it because the more I do, the more pissed I get. I love him so much. God made Kante not to extend it earlier. Yeah, it's a blessing in disguise for him. Lucky for him, he should take the money and run for his dear life. And do you think they're here to have a cup of tea with him? He's already asked them to come. Kante is the nicest, most humble guy. He deserves it, and anyone needs to respect that. I respect that. I'm just mad at the club that we had an opportunity to tie him down with Dane. And right now, if he accepts to stay, I'm going to be mad at him. I'm telling you that. Sorry, he's leaving. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go longer. Breaking. Has retired from winning trophies. I hate saying his name. Angi Postecoglou, the new Tottenham coach. I hope he does well. So sad. He's going to Sports. Your countryman, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Constantine
He's
Dante.
Australian, right?
Yeah, he's Australian. Yeah. We don't need a prophet when it's solo like that. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Unfortunately, people, I can't get everything you have in the chat. There's so much to read. He's a brilliant coach. I hope he doesn't make them relevant again. Hopefully.
Coach.
Go ahead.
Just about Kante, yeah?
Yeah.
The problem there is this, like as you always say, the club actually ran him to the ground, like we overused him, And I quite agree with the fact that when the negotiations were on, it was supposed to be, the contract was supposed to be agreed, and the injury came again. And I mean, if we look at it from business point of view, if he was offered that contract, and we sit here now talking about him being injured again, fans will come out and say, "Oh, bad business. You should have allowed him to go. We should have channeled the wages to someone else, and it will give room."
Just quickly, let me be Roger for 10 seconds. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Go ahead.
Exactly. That's it. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So we just have to agree that, okay, if he's leaving, fair. He's giving us he's all right to leave. No one will turn down 100 million a year to stay here. I mean, at the end of the day, they are all into football. He's getting to the twilight of his career. You know that. So for me, if he leaves, he goes with our best wishes. That's what I think, because just as we say, they have to find a place in the stadium to put his name up. I mean, he's a legend, whatever happens. He's only one trophy away from winning everything for Chelsea, and that's the Carling Cup. So I agree totally. If he leaves, for me personally, he leaves with my best wishes.
Yeah.
Yep, and I agree with you. And you have to mute a bit because we're getting feedback from your end, Eddie. Looks like okay. Yeah, and I agree here. Chelsea ran Kante down. I agree with you. Refused to extend his contract for running him down. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but it's a blessing in disguise, and God is great. I'm happy for him. And like I said, if he refuses to stay, I'll be mad at him rather than the club. He deserves it because he's not going to get that opportunity again. Certain Italian banker to time for that. Yeah. Coach, it's quite astonishing how swiftly things are progressing beyond my expectation initially. I had to exclude Ugarte from the article. Yep, you can exclude Ugarte. And that was why when you asked me how soon do I want you to get the article done, and I said as soon as before we sign any midfielder, because it'd be useless if you include any midfielder and they end up joining other clubs. And now it appears that Kante's potential move is imminent. Yeah, it's everywhere. But they wasted too much time. Roger, can you stop saying, just present your opinion make any sense, please. We don't operate like that here. Really happy for Kante to earn 100 million. I'm happy for him too. 2 seasons in total, they say. Mason Mount Kante has proven that if you are patient, humble, and selfless, good things will come your way. Roger, do you see how he constructed that comment? I was going to say it was a comment. It was a delicious comment, but you don't like Mason Mount, so I'm not gonna classify it as that. But that's a good way to construct it, and I was able to understand that's what you meant to say there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Say what? Say Angie. Okay, is that how you say Angie? Okay, Angie. That's how you pronounce his name. I was at all the home games when he won 36 games in a row, unbeaten a season plus the Australian national team games. He turned average team into winners. So maybe Tottenham are working with numbers now, and they know he can get them somewhere. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 13 more likes to get it to 100. Kante is lucky that he will get 100 million for just 2 seasons. I don't think he needs a repentant. He's a good guy. But it would be a very, very, again, good place for him to live. I think he'd love it. He's a Muslim. Mecca is there. He doesn't need to travel thousands of miles to go for the pilgrimage. So it's like want him to succeed, but now that he's going to Spurs, you don't want him to succeed. Now you want to eat your cake and have it. I'm happy for Kante, though. He will make money. I heard he lost money to divorce now. What? He can replenish that in his pocket and let the next woman be his girlfriend. Do you think Kante would like to have a girlfriend? I think if he was a Christian, I'd say he's a born again. He's probably a devoted Muslim that he would have not into girlfriend, boyfriend. And what sort of woman would leave Kante? I don't know, but I'm not here to talk about that. But let's move on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way, but thank you for saying that. I need to take a break from Chelsea Transfer Watch. I am cutting it off a week. take a break if it's good for your mental health. Honestly, I advise you to do that. So I'm going to breeze through a few things we have here. Some of them we don't need to talk about. We don't need to ask questions and all that. Official, I'm sure most of you have heard that already. Chelsea Football Club has agreed a deal to sign teenage sensational Kendry Pires from Independiente del Valle. This kid, he's just an excellent player. What a talent. I'm happy we got him. Even at 16, he's still 16. Is he 17 yet? He's the youngest ever scorer in the under-20 competition that's still ongoing, the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. He's also been called up to the national team also. Wow. I'm glad we got him. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Coach, are you a Christian? Yeah, I'm not too superstitious. Yes, I'm a Christian. Yeah, but I just believe in God. I don't believe there's only one way to reach Him. You can also say you're not a Christian, you're not a Muslim. There are other ways to reach God. A lot of people believe in higher power, but different means they believe to reach that higher power. So that's, by the way, we'll move on from that. Let's keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 89 likes, 11 more to get it to 100. After Chelsea walked away from the Manuel Ugarte transfer, they will try a different midfielder, and in the next few days, I will update you on Moises Caicedo, who absolutely remain a name on the list at Chelsea. So we'll pay attention to that and see what happens. The next one we have here says, okay, nothing there. Did I scroll past it? I think I may have. Or maybe forgot to open one of the news items I have lined up. This one here, this summer, okay, that's Christian Pulisic. This summer, we are obviously going to have to see what happens. It's obviously very early. As of right now, I'm a Chelsea player, and I plan to go back, put a lot of things, but a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can change. Yeah, he's not going to come out and say he's going to leave Chelsea. I think we know that. If that makes sense. It says you cannot divorce in. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Can you? I don't know, but we're not here to discuss that. I'm not well acquainted with that, really. I think you can, but I'm not too sure. So, Coach, just to recap, we are left with a midfield of Gallagher, and Enzo.
Oh, wait, he's informed today.
Yeah, not too sure, really. Not too sure. But that's, by the way, Milan kicked out Maldini. A lot of changes that will happen. The Delete's transfer has broken his neck. Football is really ungrateful. Maldini would be good for Chelsea. But let's not talk about the new manager right now. Let's move on. What else do we have here? We have this. Seems there's something going on. Bolly and Co haven't signed any player about 25 years. That's something we have to take our time to look at. But I'm not sure. They have how many? Yeah, that's correct. I think it makes sense because they were looking for the average age of 24 or 25. I think that's what we heard before they were looking at. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And please be careful with the sort of comment you're dropping there. Again, 92 likes, 8 more to get it to 100. Big up to you too, Jacob. Nice to see you. I appreciate that. So Christian Pulisic, I think he's going to leave Chelsea. That's my opinion, not too certain. Chelsea would demand 75 million for Real Madrid target Kai Havertz, who was wanted by 3 different clubs this summer. One of the clubs you just mentioned only Real Madrid. The 23-year-old is thought to be keen on a move to Real Madrid. Okay, thought to be. Isaac Kinsella, he has access to Chelsea. Maybe he could be telling the truth. I'm not too sure. But let's move on from that. This says, Coach, United have entered the race for Caicedo. Ooh. Okay, that makes it even more difficult. I see, I'm on a level. They know they see me. Big up, brother. Always nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining. What a song that is. I do love that song myself. But thank you for joining. I think if I was Kante, that's a song I'll be singing right now. A big up to you too, brother. Much love to you. Let's move on from this one. I don't know if anybody has anything to say with regards to this comment. I'm trying to round off as soon as possible.
You're talking about Kai? No, it's
okay. There's nothing much to talk about there.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen with him. It looks like he's going, but one never knows.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm actually more curious about Pulisic, to be honest with you, because I haven't really heard much about him leaving. But I thought,
but we know his contract expires at what time? Let me check again quickly. Christian Pulisic, go ahead if you were still talking. If you want to say something about him.
I actually would have assumed that there'd be a lot more, shall we say, noise about him leaving, and there hasn't really been much. It'd be interesting to see if he does indeed stay or if he does indeed leave. So,
if it's not putting pen to paper, he'll most likely leave.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second. Let me check. Christian Pulisic transfer market. Let me check. I don't have a spreadsheet like you. Sorry. He has just about a year left on his contract. His contract less than a year now.
Wow.
Actually, his contract expires in June. Where is it? I saw it right now. 2024. Yeah. June 2nd. His contract expires June 30th, 2024. So
okay, so he's got 1 season left, coach.
Yeah, 1 season left on his contract. Yeah. Let's move on from that. IBZ, big up to you. I hope you're doing well. Go ahead, Roger. You were saying something.
No, to me, there seems to be an inordinate amount of players with only 1 year left on their contract or have expired. It really has. I know we've had sanctions, etc., but it seems like this is our MO. It really does. I'm befuddled by it. I
think in some cases you could say we didn't really push to get them to sign for multitude of reasons. The sanctions and all that didn't help. That was the time people were saying do it. But the concern of everybody at the time was the survival of the club. And beyond that, also, I think some of those people that we didn't really push to sign, I think some of them the club has already made up them. The club have already made up their mind, or the hierarchy have already made up their mind that they don't want to keep them. Because if they want to keep them, I think they push harder. But go ahead with what you were saying.
So in essence, this is going to be a huge clear out then. It really is. You're looking at a completely different team compared to last season. You really are.
Chelsea aren't going to get Caicedo, just get Lavia and that mystery midfielder. What is it that every time we're doing something, there must be one mystery something. We had a mystery manager. So I really don't care anymore. Our midfield plan has been destroyed because we're not able to get right there. I think we can still get some other options that would be good. Pulisic said he would take a pay cut to leave. I didn't hear that myself. I think he needs to, if that's what he has to do. The new owners, actually, I was thinking, because they're Americans and they understand how big the American market is, and he's the poster boy.
He's on 150 grand a week.
Yeah, so maybe the salary is an issue for them. I don't know, but if he's still selling quite a lot of shirts worldwide in the United States, maybe there are other reasons. Or maybe maybe he doesn't want to stay. I just don't know. 75 million for Havertz is ridiculous, but he still has about 3 years left on his contract, or 2 years, so to speak. Is that more than 2 years? So we're not in a hurry. They were all on big deals, and now when need to renew, they're not offered some. Yes, okay, you agree. And the next one here, I'm not sure. Coach, this is all bad news, and all selling clubs know our situation is worsening. Our desperation for midfielders and the completion from UEFA Champions League clubs will drive prices through the roof. That's the truth. And they have something we don't have. I get it. We still have a pool, but that pool has reduced significantly. I would say actually to 50% because we don't have Champions League football, which means that to get a player to come to us would have to pay something, salary-wise, we'll have to pay them something extraordinary. But let's see what the club does. Let's see what they do. But the salary structure may well be an issue for us. I'm not too sure what's going to happen. Realistic, Roger just realized that going to be clear out. I think Roger knew all the while.
No, I'm just saying though. I
Yeah.
didn't. Listen, we have constraints. I get that, but I'm like, I don't know. I didn't expect Kante to be going. That's the thing that's hit me. I was hoping that we would keep him. To be honest with you, on midfield.
Go ahead.
If Kovacic goes, which it looks like he will be, and you're looking at Kante, Mount, you're looking at a completely different revamped midfield.
The entire spine of the team is gone. That's how I like to say it.
And then you're looking at, in all likelihood, a new keeper as well. So then what are we going to do for a number 9? It's down the middle. The spine is down the middle. So
it's crazy. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 7 more to get it to 100. Our midfield plan has been destroyed. I don't think so because we're not getting Ugarte. No, it hasn't. There are other options. Paulinho is also a good option. People said not to panic. I'm panicking. It looks like you're going to drive the bus this season since you're the first to come with the bus. Rodrigo didn't even come with the bus yesterday. He says he's not going to come with the bus. He only comes with the bus once the transfer window is officially open. If United midfield is made of Caicedo and Bruno, they have to be title contenders, no doubt. But let's see what happens. I think people are saying we'll have upper hand with regards to the possibility of signing Moises Caicedo. We have connection, Brighton connection, and all that. And they have Levi Colwell. I think what's come to us, we'll tell them, okay, you want Levi Colwell, let's talk. We want Caicedo, but the players preferred destination. I think, that will wield a greater influence to how much we want to pay, and then the fact that they want Levi Colwell. If United midfield is made of Casemiro, Caicedo, and Bruno, they have to be title contenders. I agree with you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream because I know what's going to happen. You have every right to be concerned. We should sell before buying any players. I'm not sure how they want to approach it. But let's see what happens. I'm still hopeful things will be better. This year, talks about, according to a source close to the player, Ian Matson thinks he's capable of competing at Chelsea for a place in the team. But if there are too many players ahead of him in the pecking order, his choice would be to extend his contract and go out on loan again. I hope that's the case, but I seriously don't think that's the case. I hope that's the case. That's just me being hopeful. And he's quoting Leon Tuomi in The Athletic. Here's the thing. We've always known for him to agree to come back. He's not going to do that if we still have Cucurella and Ben Chilwell. Either of the two players has to leave the club. And not too sure whether either would be able to sell any of them. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Ty, you haven't spoken. You have anything to add to that so that we can move on to the next topic? I want us to round up as soon as possible.
Hello, Ty.
And big up to you, by the way.
Big up. Can you hear me?
No.
Not quite. You have to be a bit more louder.
Or is it better now?
Yeah, it sounds better. Go ahead.
Yeah. Ian Matheson is a player that has impressed on loan at Burnley, and he's been an important player for them. I think he's one of those youth players or academy graduates that has drawn a lot of attention in recent time, especially with the fact that Cucurella hasn't really worked in the way that we wanted it to. Ben Chilwell has had his injuries as well. It's just funny to me that the narrative is always the same. If the pathway or if the pecking order is in a certain way, then he may do this and he may do that. I always look at it to say that football has uncertainties. Anything can happen, and that context can be in any shape or form. And in all honesty, as much as he's a good player, I do think that if the assumption is that because he's done certain things, then he's gonna have this likelihood of just simply getting chances, then that's an unrealistic way of looking at football. Yes, he's a good player, but at the same time, if competition always has to be there, it prevents complacency. And considering football is not an easy sport as well, it comes with challenges. I think it's important that is brought into the picture because yes he can do this, or yes he could be a good competitor to Ben Chilwell or Kukurea, whichever one. If we were able to sell one of the two, he'd be a good competitor to either one of them. But I don't like this narrative of if there are players ahead of him in the pecking order, because if you're good, if you believe that you're good enough to compete at the club, you wouldn't have to think about what players are ahead of you in the pecking order, because if you're good enough, those players could just be, I don't want to say discarded, but they won't be you won't look at it to say that these players are ahead of me, so it won't be easy for me to get in, because if you impress, then you clearly get that opportunity. So I don't like this whole narrative, and it's this is the belief, and this is the way that it's put across by a lot of the academy graduates that we've had on loan, and they've impressed. And it's a case of, because they've done this, they should be able to come back to the club and have guarantee or have an assurance that they're gonna get the chance to play. If you don't work for it, if you can't compete, then you don't deserve the opportunity, because you need to work, and without work, then you can't succeed. So at the end of the day, I mean, yes, he's a good player, but for me, if that is the whole narrative, or if that's the assumption that players are ahead of him on the picking order, there's a pathway for him or whatever, that is the first indication to me that you're gonna have an issue with him in terms of tying him down on a contract. And then if a loan is in the picture, I think it's better we sell him than to loan him again, because that's just
Really?
delaying the inevitable.
Hmm.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's not a straightforward situation. I think it's complicated. Do I think what's the name, Kukurea will leave this season this window? No, I don't
No.
think. I don't see the possibility to be. I'd be shocked if they're able to get him, to move him on. But let's see what happens. I don't know if anybody.
But
I want to
may
move
I
on.
ask,
Yeah, go
how
ahead.
long is this Matson's contract? Do we
I
know?
think he's just 2 years. Let me
Until
check again to be
2024.
sure.
Say
Oh,
that
okay,
again, please.
he has just about a year
2024. He
left on
has
his
1 year
contract.
left.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
it's not a straightforward situation. So he has all the cards right now, no matter how anybody sees it. So if you can't guarantee him a place, he probably runs it down. You can't force him to put pen to paper. If that makes sense. How are we going to convince Caicedo? I don't know. It's up to us. We need a new identity on this team. I am really okay with the old gods. I'm moving on. Just don't put the cart before the horse. Yes.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. Whatever happens, we must be cautious. We don't have to move them all on. Can we black their questionable photos floating to? I'm not getting into that. I'm not the most superstitious, but I want to make heaven. So I'm moving on from that one. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. 95 likes, 5 more to get it to 100. You see what we have there. No more loans to just sell these players now and cash in. Enough of this stupid loan system. You don't actually have the luxury of loaning out as many people as we used to do in the past. Kante was married. Who? Okay, now I get that's a joke, but I'm going to move on from that one. I'm not. I think maybe a riddle that I can't solve right now. Which of these preseason games are you watching? I'm not sure. All of them. Well, the games are concentrated on the East Coast, aren't they? none close to my area, but I could make time. Let's see what plans my friends have. Alex Arriva, Chelsea would definitely now escalate the chase to sign Moises Caicedo. Brighton haven't quoted a specific price, but it is understood they will hold out for a minimum of 70 million. 70 million wouldn't be bad, given the fact that Arsenal actually went in with 17 million last window and they refused it. Potter has some. Oh gosh, please, you guys should stop that, please. Cowell is definitely our only ace up the sleeves right now. Again, now regarding the Caicedo, yeah, I think I agree with you. That's what I'm suspecting. We may well end up doing, telling them, okay, you want him, let's talk. Take him in, but we have to get a Caicedo from you. Then they'll be the one to try to push Caicedo to join us rather than Manchester United or other clubs. Obviously, Kante too nice. I think it's way too nice. That's probably why we had to put again his contract negotiations on standby. Really, Potiscoglou, please stop typing that name. It's already attracting Furuhashi, Mitoma, and others. The whole Chelsea transfer structure has been a mess. We could have to wait all summer just to sell if we play hard balls on fees. We need to make money. We just can't, because we want to sell doesn't mean we should just doing a buy one get one free. Or otherwise, it wouldn't make sense that we're selling them at all. Right now, it's going to be a long season, a knock-on effect of last season mistakes. You could argue that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. Nkunku will be under pressure. I don't think he will be. I still think we'll be strategic in the market. We have a good enough squad. We actually don't need too many signings, just a few, but we just have to be strategic in the market. It is possible. Is it possible to extend Cole's contract and loan him to Brighton since he wants to stay at Brighton, then get Caicedo? Would you agree? If you were Brighton and I come to you with that offer, would you say yes? It just doesn't make sense. They want him outright. You can't tell them you want Caicedo, but they have to just take what's his name on loan. Remember what happened with Billy Gilmore? They took him on a permanent. Yeah, so they're not going to agree. 23-24 midfield, Ampadu, Gallagher, and Enzo. God help us. Let's see what happens. Inter don't want Lukaku anymore. Means he returns to Chelsea. Sell him to Bayern. They are looking for a number 9. Bayern will not buy Lukaku for you. Kai, did you say something?
I was saying that Ampadu is not even guaranteed to stay at the club.
Yeah, we're not too sure what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
not
a good point.
Yeah. We're not too sure what's going to happen. Thank you for saying that. Congratulations to the Bournemouth owners. A miracle survival. And now his Vegas Golden Knights are about to win the Stanley Cup 6 years after creation. Really? I didn't know he owned that. That's why we keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. 4 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. Look at the beautiful game, setting a bad example in the chat there. All caps, pay Brighton whatever they want and give them Cowell. United are coming. That may well push us to do that. But let's see what happens. Then it's looking like Declan Rice is headed to Arsenal. Yeah. Remember Chomeni? Yep, we wasted time too and missed out on him. I will keep Cowell and give back a Cucurella for Caicedo. Good luck.
That's funny.
Yeah. Chelsea at the moment do not want to negotiate and sit at the table with Manchester United for Mason Mount. 70 million at least or nothing. Here's the thing. I think the price will still go down, but why be in a rush to sell him now? The transfer window hasn't even opened yet. Like I said, we're not going to, because we want to sell players and say, okay, you take one, get one free. You get my point. Roger, I think we'll have to round off with that one. We need just 2 more likes to get it to 100 likes. Let's make it happen, people. Roger, go ahead.
What, with Cucurella?
No, Chelsea is saying 70 million pounds, or they're not talking.
Yeah, who knows, coach? I think it's quite obvious he's gone. You know, I think. Listen, they sold J5 for 12 million because they determined 12 million is better than zero. Okay, or
Because
11
they
million,
want
whatever
the
it was.
opportunity to sell him then.
Exactly, because you
So
know
one
what?
came, they had to. Yeah, go ahead.
Because he was going to walk. Right now, his contract would have expired, well, in like a week's time, 9 days' time, whatever. So, for all intents and purposes, and this is why it goes back to Kante. You know, you let him walk. So, because of they don't want to do that, because of they saw Christensen and Rudiger, they're going to do the same for. They're just playing. They're just what's the word I'm looking for? They're negotiating. So of course they're not going to say, yeah, give us 20. So this is a negotiating stance, and therefore I think, let's say, whatever team is only willing to give 40 or 35, they'll do it because they know 35, 40, whatever the amount is better than zero. It's basic mathematics. Because he's going to be disgruntled probably if we don't let him go, or he's not going to be pleased, shall I say. And therefore, you know what? Might as well make something out of nothing. It's pure profit because we didn't purchase him. So in accounting terms, he will go as pure net profit, whatever the amount is sold. So I think he's gone unless he wants to stay. Only he can decide this. And
well, it doesn't look like he wants to stay. He's keen on the move. We're here.
Right, exactly. And if that is indeed the fact, he's gone for sure. Because mathematically and accounting-wise, they cannot afford to let another player go for zero.
Yeah, I agree with you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Oh, hello, coach. It says Rito. Thank you, Rito. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Since last time I joined your live, I understand we're all busy, work and bills don't pay themselves. Casemiro, Mount, Rice, and Caicedo. I needed to go lie down and take a break. Though some recent thoughts, you asking some rumors yesterday. I didn't see it honestly, and he's not somebody I know. I have to be honest. Maybe I need to research him. But big up to you, Eugene. You're late today, but lateness is greatness. So thank you for joining. Seems Chelsea don't understand the word balance. Either buy too many players or willing or unable to sell and buy players. I think, maybe, but I think we'll be all right. Chelsea FC doesn't like a pure profit. But you get my point. We're not going to, because we want to sell players and then be giving them away. Cucurella has a shocking season, but City almost had him. Had some personal issues. I'm hoping he can improve himself this season. There's a player there somewhere. I believe that too. That's how I feel. Anybody else want to speak on Mount's situation so we can call it a day? I think I want to surround up as soon as possible. And there's something I have to go take care of. Anybody? Okay, nobody. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. I'll catch up with the chat.
I was saying I wanted to, but my mic was muted.
Sorry?
I was saying that I wanted to, but I didn't realize my mic was muted.
Yeah, but go ahead if you wanted to say something, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can still say it. We still have about 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, yeah. As what you were saying, yeah, this looks like he's definitely gone. I mean, it's kind of funny though with Mo because and this is just what the media says and what some aspects of the fan base says about he's proper Chelsea and he's this and he's that and yeah, it's football. I mean, it's a job. It's his job and he gets paid for it.
Yeah.
So he's gonna definitely want wages that will benefit him, and it will give him evaluation that he's getting paid for the work that he's done. So yeah, and based on the wages that he's been reportedly or supposedly offered, I guess in a sense I can't blame him, because if he's gonna say that he's done certain things for the club and he's getting offered something less than what certain players at the club, even those who haven't been performing at the highest level, are getting, I can't blame him. And if there's a club that can give him that, and yes, he's an academy graduate and things like that, but at the same time, he's gonna think about his career. He's gonna think about what benefits him, because he's a footballer, and the important thing is that he gets paid for the work he's done. So yeah, I mean, like it's kind of unfortunate because I still think that the club appear to be in a rush to sell him, and I mean, I don't really see a replacement that is guaranteed to come in. Um, should we sell him? And I mean, yeah, the transfer market is fresh. It hasn't really completely opened in all areas, but in a sense, I think I don't know. I feel like it's kind of rushed. I mean, yes, he wants to leave and he can do that, but I think it would be better to have somebody lined up first, and probably they do. But I mean, is it really sensible to be selling him now? The only way I can see this and the whole stands of 70 million as the price tag, it seems to me that they want funds to raise to get other players, and they see Mons as an easy way of getting that, quote unquote, on the easy, because I don't think any club is really gonna be offering that much. And like you said, I don't really think it's gonna be 70 million. I think they're going to eventually come to a compromise and probably accept something close to 60 or something along those lines. I don't think they get the 70. I don't think any club is gonna really give them 70 for Mount.
No, I think even less than that. I
I
think
I would be I
50.
would like to be wrong,
Yeah.
but I don't think so. Yeah, 50 years old. Could be anything
All right.
around
Thank
50
you.
to 60.
All right, thank you so much for that. I think we've come to the natural end of the show. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get everything in the chat, but I'll try my best. I have something to go take care of. Whatever that's going to happen in this window, trust me, Portugal will produce an unstoppable team. I trust him. I trust him too. Chile, Ndo, sounds like an Igbo boy. Nice to see you there. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Since Kai is likely to leave, isn't it better we go for that? Awesome guy. Lots of obstacles to negotiate to be able to get Zarayan. It's not that simple. Political reasons, you know that quite well. Just guys, sorry to join late. No worries, brother. See you next time. Thank you for the good show. As always, Coach, I appreciate that. Monday, thank you for joining. For 1 year left on his contract, we don't really have the upper hand. He has all the cards, so we need to do something. We want 70 million. United are holding out for 50 million. Here's the thing, but it's too early. We can't just succumb because he has us a year. We have again. We know it was still calm down, and I'm sure United knows it was so calm down. Maybe someone says they want him, that will help us get more fee. Free my guy Kante. Take your guy Kante. He's my guy too. I love him so much. In fact, if he doesn't leave, I'll be mad at him for not taking that money and leaving. I've said that before. Maybe Chelsea keep Lukaku for this season. If Havertz leaves, who will replace him? There are not a lot number 9. Maybe you start the club and play Lukaku as your number 9. He will score 10 times goal. I don't think so. I don't think he's Poch type of striker.
No,
I will sell Mount if it's not renewing. Chelsea don't have 100% leverage. I think we'll sell him. But we're just not going to, because we want to sell him and just for the sake of it, take whatever Man United gives us. Go, Coach. Be free. Big up to you, Constantine Dunn. Always nice to see you, brother. I appreciate that. I'm not going to go beyond Eugene's comment. We cannot delay selling Mount. What if United, Liverpool, and Arsenal move to other targets and Mount doesn't renew? And I think there will always be other clubs interested. But that's one thing. It's a risk that's worth taking. We can't just give it to them like that because we're selling. Yes, go check out Tito's YouTube channel from Eugene, Constantine Dante. Who else? The other name? Rashid 10. All of you there, please go check out Ty's YouTube channel and subscribe. Let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers. He deserves that. Gabriel Vega, not Zarayan. Okay, he's your choice. We still need Kante, but can you pay Kante how much the Saudis are going to pay him? We can't. So just let him go. Free him. He deserves it. He's a good man, an exemplary professional, a consummate professional, like Roger would say. Tillerman's available on a free transfer. I wouldn't even take him on a free transfer. I don't think he's a Chelsea level player. I'm never the one to say that for Talisman. No. For somebody who's played closer to the final third for a while now, he should have double the numbers of goals and assists he has. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good day to you too. Much love to everyone in the chat. Rashid 10, thank you for joining. And Chelsea all the way. The highlight screen is giving me a problem. Much love to you. And the blue tip again, much love to you. Everyone in the chat, Eugene, thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Eddie. Love for blue. Thank you, Richard Pop, my bro. Thank you, Tyrone. I appreciate you all. I have to run. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Cheers. Get well.
Cheers,
Bobby.
everyone. Bobby's gone. I think he's there. Okay. Yes, big up to you too, Bobby. I thought he was gone already. Much love to you. I appreciate all the love. And please
Thanks,
get
bro.
well soon.
Yeah, here.
Hope you go start brushing. What are you waiting for?